Hey there, and welcome back to Dungeons After Dark, where I, your Dungeon Master Andrew Taylor, sit around and play my favorite game, Dungeons and Dragons, with some of my favorite people. To my right, we have Mike Baudry. To my left, Tucker Daigle. And on screen, but home in your hearts, we have Kyle and Christian Evans playing Vinsire and Henry Bibbleston, respectively. And we have, there it is, Chris Jensen playing Kitsune. So, I believe we have a bit of a recap that we are owed before we jump into tonight's session. So we started the session last week with you guys on the road. Brahm having been about 10 minutes ahead, having overpaid for a horse, and taking off on his way, in his mind, to the village of Ur, far to the north and east of the continent. About well over 20 days worth of travel from where he sits today. About 10 minutes into this long, arduous journey, Brahm took a nap and allowed the rest of the party, not on purpose, but allowed the rest of the party to catch up to him and find him. The party then begrudgingly moved its way together north along the King's Road. During the first day of travel, as you guys began to set up camp, Brahm discovered a wounded fawn. The party attempted to heal, mostly Brahm attempted to heal the fawn, but its injuries were too severe for his skills, and the fawn had to be put out of its misery. Brahm doing the deed and leaving it in the woods. Kazamak attempted to butcher the animal, but ruined the meat with his unskilled hands. He accidentally hit the liver. Later that night, a secret was discovered. Someone in the party, specifically Esme, is not what she seems. It seems that certain members of the party, Henry and Kazamak, discover that Esme is actually a Vulpine with 3 tails. Both Kaz and Henry decide it's best to keep the secret, and the party moves on to its next day of travel. During the next night, the party discovered a traveling carnival in the woods. Not just any carnival, but the Little Fay Carnival, a magical fair carnival that tailors its wares and games to its current customers. Throughout the night, the party played some games, won some prizes, and even got to visit a magical petting zoo. After the fun at the fair, the party made its way back to camp and to finish their long rest. And that is where we're going to pick up. At 7 in the morning, as the party awakens from their long rest. And I will immediately turn the table over to the party.
Like, wake up. Actually, I've already been. What time is it?
7.
Oh, I've already been awake. Just kind of like sitting there looking at this random golden ring that I acquired at this circus and waiting for Henry to wake up so I can once again look at him and be like, "You see what I saw again?"
Just a note for the party. Today is the 10th day of the second month. I did some math this afternoon when I got home off the calendar. So.
You said 10th day, correct?
10th day of the second month.
Did you pick something like this?
So speaking of months, because I don't think any of you asked it yet, above table, does the climate here change similar to here? As in like month-wise, like something in like February? Yeah,
Right.
It's like brisk and pretty chilly.
It's pretty chilly, yeah.
Okay.
10th day of the second month?
Yep.
Damn, freaking months.
Well, no, we started, you guys had 30 days of travel. Remember, first session, a whole entire month went by before we picked up with you guys being together.
Yeah, because like that, when everything started, it was the 14th day of the 11th month.
No, we were always, the timeline always stated we were in the 3rd day of the first month.
I wrote it down. You told me 14th day of the 11th month is when I disbarred for Twist.
Then once I wake up, I'm gonna walk over towards Henry once I put all my stuff, or I guess once Adam puts away all my stuff.
Henry's
Henry,
What? Good morning.
Uh, can you tell me what this is?
It's a ring.
Yeah, what? I want to know if it's something special. I know it's magical, but
Oh, 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 yes, yes, yes. Give it here. Give it here. I can. Well, actually, normally I'd be able to, but I'm just missing one little thing. You wouldn't happen to have an owl feather on you, would you?
uh, I'm actually fresh out, unfortunately, of
Oh,
owl feathers.
that's unfortunate.
It's not a big deal. I can always just study it a little bit longer and figure out what it is.
Oh,
It didn't
all right.
seem as suspicious as I initially anticipated, so I might.
I'm highly sus of them still.
No,
I don't trust that polar bear.
worst case scenario, maybe I'll get cursed and then I'll just go on a rampage and like kill you all in your sleep or something.
That is worst case scenario, yes. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
You know what? Anybody else have an owl feather?
Like Vinsire might have an owl feather.
Do you, Vinsar?
Through using my most delicate resource, I could obtain an owl feather.
Hmm.
But I also don't know if it'll be usable for.
It will not.
Hmm.
Not
God
for
has
long.
told me that he doesn't think that'll
God
work.
has told me.
Lord.
Oh.
It's not really that big of a deal. Worst
Well-
case, like I said, I mean, worst case scenario, I do something crazy and we go to sleeping.
Yep. So I'm gonna look for an owl feather.
As you say that, I'm just just begin to attune to it.
Go ahead. It's not magical. Go ahead and put a nature check. You have a very fancy golden ring.
Oh, natural one.
Natural one.
A natural one. Henry, you come upon a pile of what is beneath, very clearly an owl nest. Beneath it is a giant pile of owl excrement. It's owl shit. There's a giant pile of owl shit.
Oh. That's terribly filthy. I mean, oh yeah, I'm not reaching in there. No feathers. Sorry, bud. Yeah, fresh out.
No, it's fine. Like I said,
All right.
it's-
Don't kill us.
Are you telling me owl feathers are useful to you, and if I find them, I should give them to you?
I truly only need one owl feather, and I'm set for a long time.
Okay.
Just need the one.
Well,
Normally I have one, but it must have fallen out. I wasn't prepared for this.
it's okay, Henry. I know in your age it could be difficult to
Yes, my age.
remember.
You fucking.
The elderly from my home really spend most of their time just kind of sitting,
Yeah?
we
telling
usually-
stories that no one really believes.
Most of the elderly folks I know, we kill. 'Cause they're not much use anymore.
A very utilitarian system.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go saddle up my horse. Where are we going?
So, go ahead.
As they were having this conversation, I was putting out the fire.
Only you.
They're just making noise.
You
Forever.
can prevent.
Because it's dark downstairs.
So as they're having that conversation, I was putting out the fire and then packing up all my stuff. Got on my saddle and just started heading off.
Okay.
Looks like Brom's leaving by himself again. I would say quite loudly. Looks like Brom's leaving alone again.
Oh, it's like he doesn't even want to be with us. Like, what's going on with this guy?
Are you like sprinting off as fast as you can?
I just did.
Cool. Adam, would you go keep pace with him until we catch up?
Yes.
Make sure
Good
you-
idea.
Yeah, make sure nothing weird happens. He's weird. You're being odd.
Odd. Got it. And Adam walks off.
Am I trying?
Remember, he's not making noises. He's not a transformer. He's not swishing.
Just
He's just a robot humanoid, a magical creation, as if by magic.
As if by my own hand.
So as you guys, I assume, mount your horses.
Mm-hmm.
Still wearing my goggles and have my polar bear tucked right in my breast pocket.
As you guys hop on your horses and begin your journey, can I have Chris Jensen? Okay. All right. Go ahead and roll me,
Nice.
go ahead and roll me a d6. It's gonna be hellacious in my audio later. A 2. Okay. Good to know. So, as you guys begin your journey, you get about, I don't know, 2 hours in before you begin to notice there's a small caravan that's pulled off on the side of the road, up on the right hand side of the road. There's a couple of wagons, 4 wagons exactly. They're all covered. It looks like these are mostly like a trade caravan coming from Steelhaven or Goodgrass. So it could be cattle, it could be meat, it could be hay, it could be any number of things in these carts. It could be iron, steel coming from Steelhaven. But they are pulled over on the side. And as you guys get within about, let's say, 300 feet, is there anything anyone would like to do?
Could I just like start? How many wagons was it again?
There's 4 wagons, and there's people all around them. Like, they're not like acting suspiciously or anything. They're just pulled over on the side.
Are just like a normal paranoia check. Can I just look and see if they have any sort of like armament or arms?
Sure. Go ahead and make a perception check. How about the group? The group, go ahead and make a perception check.
Ooh, that was nasty. 5.
5.
I just see the back of Henry's peeling elderly forehead, or back of the nape of his neck.
Hey, the skin's good. I moisturize.
I'll be scratching off little flakes with my little goblin finger.
What did everyone roll?
20.
15.
20.
6.
Okay, so a 5, a 6, some 20s. Anything over a 15 or higher, I should say. You would notice that there are people that are like armed, but they're not an armed group, if that makes sense. This isn't like an armed caravan. They are mostly farmers, it looks like. Most of them don't like carry anything on them. They're just like tending to horses or like moving things from one wagon to another. Some of them are like stretching their legs. And it just seems like these are just a group of travelers or a trade caravan.
Okay.
Since I'm ahead, can I kind of just ride up to them?
Sure. Yeah, as you guys get close, because you're not like ahead. It's not like you're like hundreds of feet ahead.
Adam is right
I
behind.
am 30 feet ahead of them.
You don't get to dictate that, I don't think.
Damn.
So as you guys,
Perfect pace with
I don't think.
I am 4 feet ahead of them.
Good God, as you guys make your way up to the trade caravan, they just, some of them wave, some of them ignore you. It's not uncommon. This is the King's Road. It's not uncommon to meet people on this road. It's very common. The first 2 days of travel, you pass people coming and going both ways. No issues. So as you stop here, you can see there's a small campfire. It looks like they are still breaking down their camp from the night before. And sitting, as you guys kind of like pull over to the side of the road to talk to some of these people, you would notice a couple of things. So there's kind of a group of like young adults, I would say, that are kind of like sitting around a fire, and they're like all of them are like staring at this central figure. There is a gentleman sitting on a stump. He looks to be human or half elf. He is very clearly a bard, given the raiments that he wears. He is in a full like musician's like outfit, like the colorful pants. They're like blooming pants at the bottom. They're blue and orange. They go all the way up to a tunic that is blue and orange, and he carries a lute. And he's kind of just like strumming background music. He's not singing. He seems to be telling stories to these teenagers or these young adults. And as you guys approach the caravan, one of the people goes, "Lo, how you doing, travelers? What news from the south?"
Oh, yeah. Traveling from Calypso. There's interesting developments going on down there. The the First Legion of the Grey Empire has reshown.
The guy turns over his shoulder and goes, "Hear that? The Empire's back!" And they all break into like raucous laughter.
Oh, what's so funny?
Well, just a foreigner telling us that the long dead Empire is come anew. Even the dumbest kid knows that the Emperor's been dead for 200 years.
Well, I hate to tell you, but there's a certain general, Durton Flaft. He made an appearance. Executed the captain of the ship I was traveling on at sea.
No shit.
So just be wary of when you head down there. Because about this time, 30 days is going to be ending, or 60 days will be ending soon. So, good luck.
The guy goes, "I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about."
Oh, well, you know, Sicky said 60 days. People had a,
This guy looks, gotta make insight checks, everyone.
Ooh.
What the
14.
fuck, man?
18.
8.
Damn, almost 9 20.
Yeah. It's not a super high DC. This guy does not believe a word that Brahm is saying.
What is
Alright.
are they all just kind of like snickering?
I mean, it's just this central guy. It was just like,
Like the bar
everyone's
dude?
like doing their thing, and he's just like talking to you. He just kind of shouted. It was like, "You hear that? The Empire's back," and everyone started laughing.
Is this like the central bard guy?
No, you guys are still sitting on your horses, talking to a guy on the side of the road. If you guys would like to dismount and everything, you can go talk to the see what's going on with this bard figure.
I mean, he pay no mind. I've heard the story a couple times now, but I'm not sure I fully believe it either. My friend Brown here does tend to tell some crazy stories. What
Okay.
What word from the north or wherever you're coming from? See, one of you is telling story by song or something like that.
Oh, that's just Ishmael. He's a bard from Steelhaven, it says. Hitching a ride down to Calypso.
Why?
Never met a bard before.
Ah, there's singers and storytellers and all manner of fun. But this one's quite boring. Can't sing a tune to save his life.
Sounds like he's telling a story about a big white whale or something. I don't know.
But I mean, have you heard anything interesting from where are you coming from?
Bolovine.
I'm just gonna
Way up there.
I have no idea where that is. I'm just like so very north then.
Aye,
It's
yes,
actually
far as
it's-
north as
it's-
north can
oh,
go.
Nice. Yep. Cold, I hear.
No,
Oh.
it's not.
Well.
Warm as hell.
Hmm.
Coastal town, you see,
Ah.
just below the equator.
My geography is all wrong.
Interesting.
Any dead kings trying to invade there?
He laughs. No, no dead kings or emperors or generals or anything of that sort.
Well, if no one's trying to invade, and you're as far north as it goes, what brings you this far south?
Trade.
Trade.
Pickled herring. Slaps the wagon.
Huh. I don't believe I've ever had that before.
Well, you're welcome to buy some. You can talk to Missy in the back. She'll hook you right up. Best pickled herring you're gonna find all over Zata.
I'll go. Is Missy?
Yes.
I'll dismount Henry's horse and I'll just go pick up some pickled herring.
Okay. Yeah, it's
Ration.
literally a copper. It's a corper. It's a quarter copper. No, it's a copper per like bundle. So a bundle is like 3 pieces of fish.
And are these like salt brine, like they're dry, or are they like pickled like jars?
It's pickled in a jar.
Oh, gross.
It's like legit, like jarred.
Can I just get a jar of it?
Yeah, it's a silver.
Cool. I will do that as my like rations.
Rations. You don't come across anything else in deal and trade of anything else, do you? Not just fish?
No, can't say we have no interest in much else. We're fishermen.
There's actually a question. While I'm doing this, are there distinct accents throughout the continent? By any chance?
Not particularly. Zata, because it was a empire for 190 years or so, it's blended pretty well. The one exception for them would be High Watch. There are certain avian species. I wouldn't say that it's a so the upper crust of the avian species, they would speak in high lingo, which is like my good man, good fellow. But
Like,
the accents are still like my good man, good fellow. Like it's just a high lingo. And that's just they're different because they didn't come off the mountain. They didn't reveal themselves to the world until after the emperor's death.
Oh, I'm aware.
Interesting.
Okay. I rest my case.
Esme is well read.
You guys didn't hear that. Jesus heard that. That was a conversation between me and God.
Me and Jesus are close. He spoke to me earlier about the owls.
Jesus doesn't exist here. There's a prime pantheon. I ask that you stick to it.
That was me and Kaomine having a convo, okay? Chill out. You didn't hear anything, Vinsire.
That's a shame. If you came across anything unique on your travels or from far north, I'd be willing to pay or trade, but I will go check out these pickled fish, I guess.
All right. Yeah, it's pickled fish or nothing. That's what's for sale.
I want to go look at them. I want to take a smell. What does it smell like?
It smells fucking awful. It smells like
Pickled fish.
Does not smell good.
You'll see Kazamak like walk over and be like, huh, what is this? Like here, I'm almost like
I'm gonna be walking out, like twisting off the jars, like grabbing one, and when I get back to Henry, I'm gonna offer you the jar. Like, you want one?
Nope.
Don't take
And, please
fucking disgusting.
do not. It's just please finish the jar before you get back on the horse.
Oh, I'm not. This is like for like a week.
Oh,
I figured I would just try one before we headed off, but these will last for a while.
Oh,
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
You
is
can
gonna be a fun
smell
week.
Kitsune's breath.
Oh.
Excuse me. You can smell Ezume's breath.
You need hold still. prestidigitation.
Just hanging
Woo!
As I'm just walking back from the stink wagon, I want to go over to this Esmail character.
Ishmael?
Ishmael.
Sure.
Close enough.
This Archimedes guy.
That dude over there.
Yeah, so he's
Are you still saying stuff?
yeah, he's mid conversation, so I'm just finding my space here.
I don't need to like
Um
immediately interject if he's talking. then
yeah,
I'll
so he's just gonna you would, I guess no one else has said they're going over, so you would walk up and you hear the mightiest ruler of his age. He forged his legendary weapon, the hammer of the Undermountain. And there, that hammer, he sits deep in Dwero Deep to this very day. And the young adults that are these like 20 somethings that are like sitting around him, they just like applaud. And he like strums like a final note on the harp and then like sits back.
Excuse me, who sits under the mountain on a hammer?
Why, aren't you inquisitive?
I
Come, pull up a log. And he like gestures to like around the fire.
I'll just kind of like, all right. Adam, come here.
He just walks over. Yes. What can I do?
I would tell some sort of historical lore. Pay attention just in case I forget.
That's not happening.
I know. Damn it! I tried my best.
Yeah, that's not happening. How would you take notes? For once in your godforsaken life, take notes.
Have notes.
If you ask questions, be prepared to take notes. Yeah, he goes, why, I was just recounting the tale of King Thrain Stormdelver, fabled king of the mountain of Dwero Deep. As legend would say, and as I told these young lads and lass, King Thrain built a mighty weapon, the hammer of the Undermountain. But, if legends to be believed, Dwero Deep was lost for all time when the king either closed it with his hammer to protect his riches, or in his haste to control the power of a mountain, let loose a power that he himself was not ready to face.
A power, you said. What do you mean? A monster or like?
He starts strumming on his he starts strumming on his lute, and he goes, well, if one story to another is to be believed, the mountain of the Undermountain, the hammer of the Undermountain, could wield the power of a volcanic force. Some claim that this fabled weapon is what caused the loss of Dwero Deep itself, that in his haste to use the hammer, the king, in his greed, locked himself away for all time.
Is there anything in this story that talks about like an orb, maybe like in the hammer, or like something like that?
No, can't say I know anything about an orb. Not in Dwero Deep. Orbs of all sorts.
Have you ever heard or come across anything called the Celestial Orb?
No.
Man.
Oops. Care to tell a tale?
I
He like gestures to the lute.
on his lute?
No, he like gestures with like the lute to you.
Oh, I'm just like, I mean,
Tail.
I don't really know anything about it, to be honest. Been trying to find out what it even is myself, but heard it mentioned a few times, and it seems quite valuable and some, I guess, powerful because a lot of people are after it. So,
Well, I do love treasure, but nope, I can't say that in my time on this blessed planet that I've come across any orbs that you describe.
What I'm not. You sound fairly well traveled. I can't say that I am as much myself. What are some places that you've been to that have, I don't know, exquisite crafting abilities and like valuable items?
Ah, well, if it's expert craftsmanship you're after, Steelhaven would be the destination.
Yeah, where is that?
Steelhaven? He gestures north. You guys are far enough now. You're like on the western side of this mountain range. He gestures north, and towering in the distance is a monstrous mountain. He goes, "That is Steelhaven. It's like looking at Kilimanjaro,
Jesus.
like the French Alps, like that height.
Huh.
Like you can see it for hundreds of miles,
Jeez.
or not hundreds of miles, but like
Yeah.
anywhere on the
It's like-
continent, you
yeah.
can see Steelhaven.
Huh. Do you don't happen to have a map, do you?
Not one that I would spare, unfortunately, no. But I'm sure you could pick one up in, good grass or any place on the road.
All right.
There is a small town, if I recall, called Lost Hollow. You could check there.
Where's that?
It's a couple hours north and east, I believe.
Hmm.
Should be able to make it by sunset.
All right. Well, I'm pretty sure that's where we're going. So, I'll keep an eye out for it. I would like to have a map. And after something quite different.
So you guys have never heard of Lost Hollow. You definitely are not heading towards Lost Hollow.
I have no idea.
You're heading towards Good Grass. It's kind of along the road. So you're right now 2 blocks north of Calypso, essentially, on the King's Road. So 1, 2. This day is your 3rd day of travel. You essentially would be cutting east after probably like another hour's worth of travel. But I mean, he said it's north along the King's Road and then east. So presumably there will be signs.
Oh, okay.
So not every, I didn't bother putting every tiny little village on the map because they're inconsequential in most cases. But Lost Hollow is one of those small little like humanoid outposts. So they dot the map. You will come across places that are small settlements of humanoids throughout your time on Zata that are not even like claimed by anyone. They don't. It's just a group of like it's like 10 settlers went out and set up a homestead. So that's kind of what Lost Hollow is a vibe of.
Okay. So you said you like loot. Are you and you said you travel a fair amount. Are you just part of the trading people, or they said something about you hitching a ride to Calypso?
Oh, well, I'm a traveling bard. How else does one learn stories if one doesn't travel? So I go from place to place and till I've worn out my welcome, and then I move along.
Well, I mean, you do seem to get around quite a bit. If I was to, I don't know, give you some coin, you think you'd be able to, I don't know, ask around the next like several places you go about this celestial orb?
Yes, I think I would be able to do that.
Well, I'll tell you what, and I'm just gonna reach into, not in my pocket, just like kind of down near my leg, and just like bring my hand back up, and I'm gonna have sending stones.
Okay.
And like so here, take one of these. I don't know if you're familiar with these or not, but essentially the way it works is, once per day you can basically tell me something, or I can reach out to you, no matter where you are, as long as we're here on the same plane. So if you happen to hear something about it, let me know, and that information leads to the orb or something useful, I'm more than happy to give you some money.
Oh, no. You see, I always take payment first. A promise of payment is rarely a promise fulfilled.
Oh, I have no problem giving you some coin up front. If you can get me more information about it, though, I'm more than happy to pay more.
Well, then we seem to have an accord.
And I'll pull out 10 gold.
Okay.
And I was like, I feel like this should cover several nights in the next city and maybe some drinks. Hopefully, it'll be enough to get you to ask around, see what you find.
Okay. He goes, well then. He takes the gold, slaps it in his nearly empty coin purse, and goes, well, what a merry day indeed.
I'm Kazmak, by the way.
Oh, Ishmael. He stands up, sits his loot down, and like shakes your hand.
Well, Ishmael, I hope to hear from you soon. And I'm gonna just kind of like get up and be like, safe travels, I guess. And I'll just kind of like turn and leave.
Out of curiosity, what race is Ishmael?
Ishmael is a human. So, as the party sets off, or as the party is kind of gathered around these wagons, you guys have bought some pickled herring. You've listened to a tale. Anything else that you would like to do here on the side of the road before setting back off on your journey?
I would like to examine like kind of what I can see of the wagons and what they look like.
They look like I don't know what you're looking for here. They genuinely look like wagons. They are covered wagons.
Like markings identifying stuff.
No, they're just plain wood wagons. There's not like anything like painted on them or anything.
Okay. You see the killers.
Yeah, they're just. I mean, why would they?
Easy enough to do. I'm gonna make it.
Yeah.
Is there any way for us to discern what they are, what they contain? These covered wagons.
You guys know what they contain. They're full with pickled herring.
Oh.
They're not like it's not like secretive. Like the backs are open, so as you guys are like they're not like selling. They're not. There's not a stall set up on the back of the road. You walk back to this woman to buy herring.
It's like you were stop a semi truck on the side of a highway.
Yeah, they just like slam the back open. Yeah, there's not like a stall set up.
I would like to buy your chicken.
Yeah, it is literally as I described. There are 4 wagons that have covers on the top. As you go around to the back, if you were to like position yourself around the back, there's cask and cask and cask of pickled herring that's moving around to Good Grass, Calypso, places like that don't have it.
Fair enough.
If I were to ask around, would anybody have any owl feathers?
You can certainly interact with whomever you would like.
I'll look around. I want to see. That Bard fellow is full of shit. Don't trust him. Other random dude be like, hey.
Yeah, what can I do for you?
I'm looking for something in particular, and just shoot me down if you don't have them. But have you seen any owl feathers? Do you have an owl feather, specifically owl?
An owl.
An owl, yes. Can't be.
Make a general luck check.
Whoop.
Luck at us 6 of them.
Natural 20.
Wow.
I got 30.
I got the whole owl living in his.
I'm a traveling owl salesman.
Yeah.
I don't, but Missy, she's been collecting stuff off the side of the road every time we stop, so I talked to her.
Oh, well, thank you. I'll give Missy a talk. She's the one that's selling the fish to my friends over there, right behind that wagon over
yes.
there. That's right.
That's her.
Very well. Thank you very much, young man. Appreciate you. All right. Waddle off.
So, as you make your way back to where Missy is, hi, can I help you?
Yes. Did you? Someone told me out there. I didn't get the young man's name, but he said that you've been collecting things off the side of the road. Do you happen to have an extra owl feather that maybe I could have?
Well, I mean, I do have one, but I think that it's too pretty to let go.
Oh, is that what this is going to be? You're going to try and sell. Okay. How much would you like for it, Missy? I'll buy your owl feather from you. That's all right. I'll play along.
Oh, no, I was thinking that maybe you could trade.
I like
to collect little baubles and things, and Well,
Hmm. Let's see if I have anything you may be interested in.
I know.
This pet rat.
give her that dick.
Weird. Look at me.
Hey, Missy.
Let me just take this little blue pebble and it'll be good for 4 hours. Have you ever seen a flower bloom and die?
Oh, that's a wonderful. Yes, thank you for inspiring me, Missy. I'm gonna look around. Is there any flowers around?
Yes.
All right.
On the side of the road, there are like some dandelions.
All right, I'm gonna pick one, and I'm gonna be like, "All right, Missy. Now I will trade
Oh,
you
he's going to torture Cheryl.
this this dandelion that feels no pain, and for that owl feather. Now, trust me, it's more than just a dandelion. Watch this. And I will wave my hand, bibbity boppity, fucking
Die, bitch.
die and come back. And it'll start blooming and then withering and then blooming and then doing that thing. And I'm like, huh?
She
Huh?
goes, "Oh my goodness, that is so cool."
Very neat, isn't it? Yes, yes,
Hey,
yes.
sorry, what are you hearing?
He's plugging his ears. He's not hearing it.
Yeah. Vinsire, you know what you're hearing. There's a plant that should not be, the moment a plant is uprooted, it loses sentience, right? Like without its roots, it has no sentience. So it should not be able to live and die like this. It is unnatural and gruesome.
Mildly horrifying.
Plugging his ears. Doing it
I'm
for
just
now.
still on my horse, just. I don't like it here.
But
Don't-
Henry, she greedily snatches the dandelion from you
Oh, okay.
and hands you a very pristine owl feather. Good
Oh,
roll.
beautiful.
Nice natural 20.
Thank you. Yeah, it's definitely the best
Literally, yes.
natural 20 I've rolled to get this outfit.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Missy. Please do enjoy that. Ooh.
We gotta go. We
We
gotta
gotta
go.
go. We have 1 minute.
Yep. All right, guys, let's leave.
Remember, it's an hour. So, yeah, you have an hour.
We gotta go. Yeah.
I've already kind of gone back and I've been just making small talk with Adam. Yeah, so I gave him a stone, and I think it might actually work out. In worst case scenario, I'll just get the information if he has any, and then never pay him. I feel like it's a good idea. And then I'll get him.
How close are you when you say that? Are you whispering?
I assume you are very far away.
Oh, are you still in the?
I would say I'm just like strolling back, like
Okay.
not yelling loudly, but I'm talking fairly softly.
So no one can hear you except Adam.
Yeah.
There's no fucking clue what you're talking about.
Oh, he's sentient. He knows.
Yeah, he
He's a humanoid.
yeah, he's a fully sentient automaton,
Okay.
Yeah.
shaped like a humanoid that I control outside of like combat. Like the role playing I do.
He has rather lack of personality, but
Okay.
Yeah.
he's a real like character.
I didn't think it was like a real character. That was like
He's a real boy.
blow up animal. They just kind of moves along.
He is in fact a real character.
So, as you guys finish your shopping, your bartering, your uncomfortable screaming of plants as they live in
Just having a meditative moment with myself and my horse while they do whatever they need to do with this caravan.
So, as you guys continue throughout the day,
Oh, we're leaving again. Thank goodness.
about 30 minutes to I would say about an hour later, you come across a sign on the King's Road. The sign points east, which would take you essentially. Calypso sits on the coast. Then you have the mountains, the Ebon Mountains. And then where you guys are, if you were to cut east, you guys are here. If you were to cut east, you'd be like behind the mountains, essentially, like on the other side of the mountains. There is a road sign pointing east that says Lost Hollow. It doesn't give a distance. The King's Road continues north, but there is a sign that points to Lost Hollow, and there's a dirt, like a very underused trail, but very obviously a trail. It's not like kept up at all, but it's very obviously like an old wagon trail that has like grass growing around it.
Oh, that Lost Hollow place. That one of the fellows back there was mentioning something about that. Have you ever heard of that place? I just like say to the group basically.
Andrew, have you ever heard of Lost Hollow?
I would say, knowing how long you've been in Last Drop, I'm gonna say no. This would be after you were already like in Last Drop.
Gotcha.
I would say genuinely no one would probably know about Lost Hollow.
None of the Inari have ever brought it up.
Not that you would recall. There's genuinely, it's, if you, I won't describe, but no, I will just say no.
No.
Oh well, they said it was not too far, and seems like it's not really on the way per se, but generally speaking, it's on the way. And said they have some decent supplies and stuff. We wanted to stop on the way.
Yeah, sure. As long as we still do what Vin needs to do. I'm not really sure what exactly it is he needs to do, but he seemed pretty adamant about going to Goodgrass.
Well, I feel like it's kind of on the. I mean, it's on. We have to go like east-ish, northeast-ish, so we'll pass through. I feel like on the way to Goodgrass.
You will not. So again,
I know.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Okay. I was gonna say. I really thought that I just did a bad description of the directions, but okay.
And since no one ever.
I mean, I get what you're saying. I'm fine with us taking a minor detour. I just think Vin seemed pretty. He had a purpose going to Goodgrass. He didn't want to be too pushy, I could kind of tell, but I think it's important that he goes.
Shouldn't be too much of a detour.
Yeah. Okay. So
I'll like look back from Henry's horse. I'm like, yeah, we'll still make sure to get there.
I mean, it's, we'll get there for sure. You want to stop at this little town, though, that they said is, 10 people in a...
Yeah, I mean, may as well.
4?
Yeah.
4?
Uh-huh.
Your purpose?
They said they might have maps.
Then also in Goodgrass, I believe that maps would exist.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it won't be that big of a detour, though.
As you're saying that, I'm looking at the map I picked up before I left town.
You never said it.
Yeah,
Yes, you did.
Damn it. I said I picked up the map before I left town.
I want to go there for maps.
And then I'm looking at.
If you're all right with going to Goodgrass first, I'd be fine to double back.
During the conversation, when the guy was like telling you where Lost Hollow was, I did say you would be able to get there by nightfall. Like the guy said, you'd be able to get there by nightfall.
Yeah, I mean, it's right up the road. The guy said we could reach there by this evening, so I mean, it's not really even out of the way. Goodgrass is still several days journey.
Do you say if there would be like an inn there or something? Maybe we
I
can
don't see why not.
get a hot meal and
Yeah,
rest our heads in a bed. That'd
sure.
be nice.
I'm sure there is. Probably.
All right, let's follow the deranged axe murderer. The self-admitted, to be fair, axe murderer to the small town with few people in a secluded area.
Yeah, sounds great.
Yep.
Those are kind words, Vince. I appreciate that.
Well, I feel like I've just been trying to get to know you, and I think that that's honest and true to who you are.
Well, let's start making our way.
Fork in the road goes right.
Right before we kick off, while they're all talking, I'm gonna just sneak another herring out of my pickle jar.
There's no
Right tuck behind Henry's back. I'll be like really close to him and just like sneak one and like quickly put it back.
Yeah, Henry, you would smell the pickled herring as he does the jar.
I'm gonna turn around. I'm gonna be like, listen here, you little shit. Don't open the jar.
Henry, you really gotta try it. It's once you get past the smell, it's actually quite a good meal.
Okay, I'll try one. Here, let me have one.
Just like hold your nose, and I'll like open the jar, and I'll just like hand him the
Oh, you hand
brain.
me one, I throw it. Can I have another?
Just, like look at it, just like disbelief, like that was.
I'm gonna go get that.
That was pretty rude for someone of your age.
You're right. I'm sorry. I was rude. I just. You
I'd
did
like to
pull it
fetch
out
the
on my
pickled
horse.
herring.
Okay.
After I specifically asked you not to, but it's okay. Yeah, I'm the rude one here.
Philip jumps. You see Philip jump up on Brom on Henry's back and just start making like on all fours, just like making angry rat noises at Kitsune.
Oh,
Henry
Philip.
Henry in your head telepathically you hear they fucking smell like shit and they're awful and I don't like it and
Oh, Henry, Philip. Now that is just uncalled for. I'm so sorry. Look, we disagree, but Philip went way too far. I'm so sorry.
I'm like, that's fine. I've been around long enough to know that I'm not wanted, and I'll hop off Henry's horse and I'll walk over to Vin and be like, do you mind if I hitch a ride?
I'm on the ground picking up the herring and like halfway into eating it that he threw. Okay. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, your herring is definitely covered in grass and dirt for sure.
That's fine. So am I.
Subdues the smell.
And then when I hop back on my horse, I'd like to druid craft the smell of a skunk just right in front of Henry.
Oh no. Henry, as you guys go to kick off, you get a scent on the air.
Oh, dude. Oh, who? Do you guys smell that? Oh, we gotta get out of here. Oh, God. Full gallop. Come on.
As
Passes away.
I'm taking my trunk and just shoving it into my shirt. I'm just like, what the fuck is that?
As you guys apparently kick east to the small town with the axe murderer in tow, you begin your journey off the King's Road east to Lost Hollow. As you go, is there anything that you would like to roleplay?
I would like to say I'm in the back of the pack.
Okay.
How long does the skunk smell last?
Not long. It's subtle and but just know I got that loaded, Henry. Be careful.
As you
Vin,
guys,
Vin, do you like the herring?
It's honestly fantastic. I didn't know what pickled meant, so I was curious, but it was.
Yeah, it's got like a nice like briny taste to it. Kind of once you eat it, it kind of dilutes the smell a bit.
I mean, to be honest, I mostly we don't really eat a lot of meat where I'm from. It's a lot of plants and other nuts and berries and such. So I mean, it's different. It's different, but it's good. It's good.
You guys have a really interesting way about you. You talk to your plants, you raise them like children, and then their purpose pops up and you use them.
It's almost like farming.
Yeah, but it's like farming people, and you talk to them, and then you kill them. But the whole time you tell them that their purpose is being utilized. I feel like that's kind of off.
I mean, it's not necessarily the whole time. Plants aren't, and it does also depend on the plant. Like a lot of plants, and I'll whisper like they're not very smart. You see.
But yeah, but that's like the issue, right? You're telling them that this is their purpose, and they don't really know any better, and then you just kind of use
But
them.
really, only if they ask, which doesn't happen a lot. You'd be amazed.
So do you just only eat when they say yes?
No.
Oh, then so it's not always when they agree to being taken, huh?
Well, I mean, of course, that fish, I don't imagine had a say in.
No, but I also don't talk to my fish and my food. So I don't know. It seemed like kind of like a dilemma.
It sounds like a morality that you need to come to terms with that I settled with a long time ago.
Hey, I was just curious. I can switch horses again if you're.
No, this is fine. If you're uncomfortable, I mean, that's on you, but I'm fine.
I was just curious. I mean, my morality, I think, is pretty in check.
Really, when you look at the circle, one day
like,
I'll die and these plants will eat me.
I guess that's a little bit better.
And that's the way it goes.
When you finally describe it in that light, it makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, it's a lot. It takes the children a long time to come to it. I'm not gonna lie, it did take me a minute. It's a lot.
Yeah, it sounds like a really traumatic youth. Talking to your friends and then eating them like a minute later.
Also, to be fair, not everybody where I'm from can do this. There's still a select few, but I mean, there's a lot of us, so it's like
So you are the only one in your circle has these gifts.
Even better. Yeah, I mean, yeah, but a lot more people where I'm from, so like they really helped me get through this. I haven't had to deal with this on my own at all.
You don't hear them.
What's that?
Like they kind of they take the plants away from you first, and then they kill them. That way that you don't hear them, or
no, I mean it's kind of business as usual with some more kind of what's the word called?
Singing to like drown it out, or
no. Well, I mean, once you unroot a plant, there is no sound. You understand?
Like kind of like a squeak.
Unless you're sadistic like Henry and you can cast magic that will make a plant live and die and live and die and live and die.
I'll like lean into you and whisper, like, yeah, I think he's kind of like rougher around the edges than you'd expect. He seems a bit cruel at times.
I think that might just come with I think it's like a generational frustration. I think he craves violence.
Like you generally expect older people to be nicer, and then you remember that people are people too. Doesn't like regardless of age, everyone's got their own personality, and sometimes it's not a nice one.
And same goes for plants, which makes it easy.
I don't want to assume anything yet. It's just the past couple interactions I've had with him, he's kind of snapped.
Well, also he might just be hungry. He might need like an antacid or
him snacks, and he didn't want them. He threw it. I mean, you got it, and look, now we're here. But
maybe he has a stomach. I have some anti-diarrhea medicine I can give him when we stop. I'll pull him aside. Maybe that.
I mean, yeah. I mean, maybe there's something like maybe his internals don't work as well as they used to. He's losing agency, I think, maybe.
I mean, he did forget his owl feather that he said he normally always has, which is,
I mean, humans, when they get to that age.
I tell you what, Esme, you're really the only person that I trust right now. Like, you're the only one who's kind of really been honest with me and open about, like, who you are and what you're about and, like, your whole story. And I really appreciate that.
I'm here for you, Ben. Do you want another herring?
That'd be great.
Pop open the jar.
Gross.
Let's bond and be honest with each other over dead fish.
As you guys eat your terrible fish.
It's quite good.
As you guys go and make your way east, the sun does begin to set behind you. You've been going for a pretty decent part of the day. But as the sun sets, I would like the party to make a perception check as we look out to the horizon out east.
Instead of a perception check to look for stuff, can I look at the ground for plants?
Sure.
20.
Cool.
10. 4.
9.
27.
Mikey? A perception check.
12.
Well, what did you roll, Vinsire, for your thing?
For plants, can I make it a nature check?
Yeah, it's always gonna be typically gonna be a nature check.
A 27.
27. What were you looking for? That's important to know.
Okay. I was looking for specifically Feki root or Olisuba leaf or a dream lily.
So I don't even know why I asked that because where is it?
Wrong region of the continent.
No, it's not why. I'm just looking for it. Well, it may be why.
So, Henry, as I'll kind of like slow my horse to next to you. What do you think about Esme?
Well, I do believe that Philip offended the poor girl with her
you know what I'm
cruel
talking
world.
about.
Oh,
You know what I'm talking about. And I'll like quiet down a little bit more. You also will remember we looked at we both are okay. Good.
yeah. You know, everyone has their thing. You know, eventually we'll be clued in or we won't. You know, that's what I'm saying. Can't keep it under wraps forever.
Yeah, but have you ever seen one of those before?
I think I have, Andrew?
Yes, you have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait.
You have had 2 encounters with a Vulpine, with a Foxfolk. I can text you the specific details from your,
So you also recognize the fur on my neck. When you've met them before?
Oh yes.
I thought they've been extinct for a very long time.
I'm very old.
Not as old as they get, though. I mean, Esme's probably she had 3 tails. So, I don't know anything about them really, but I know that they live a very long time.
Yes, and she's disrespecting me. I'm old and I earned this. Just because she's older and still looks better doesn't mean that she's better than me.
Well, you know what they've always said, Henry. I mean, if the myths are to be believed, they grow their tails back. So you could always just cut off a tail and give it to them.
Whoa, no. Hey, let's all calm down here.
Oh, I thought you said you were mad at her. I don't know.
No. We got a disagreement over pickled herring. Who would open that on someone else's horse? It's rude. But it's fine. I'm gonna apologize for throwing away her property. That was wrong of me. She bought it and I threw it, but goddamn, did it feel good to do. Anyway, no cutting of anything. No, we're all getting along.
I thought you were the one who brought that up. I don't know.
Young man, I'm old, but I'm not feeble-minded. You won't gaslight me into thinking I want to kill someone.
Henry, I keep your voice down. I never said we should kill anyone, and I'll say it kind of loud. No. You said we should try to cut off her tail. Now, let's not talk about this anymore before someone thinks you're crazy. I'm gonna jog off on the horse a little bit.
On your while you're jogging on, be like, young man, for the record, I like you.
How far away were you all?
I'm rectifying a lot of things in a moment. With a 26 Vinsire, we are in the grasslands. You find Pixie's Parasol, Everfrost Berry, Bloodroot, and Olisuba Bush.
Oh, we lost you.
I don't know why it does that.
And as I'm going through and like finding all these things, like bring them back to Esme and be like, this is great. You can use this for so many different things. And then this is fantastic too. A lot of uses, a lot of different things this can go into.
What things?
Potions.
But yeah, but like, do you know the recipes?
Yes.
Huh. Okay.
If I find one more If I find some Marusa bush, I can make a potion, and then I can show you what it's like to talk to plants, and then you can have that.
Well,
empathy.
could you describe it to me, like the plant?
Marusa bush? It's a bush.
Okay. I can't really help you look for it if you don't give me more context clues.
I'll be honest with you.
Do you know what Marusa bush looks like? Because we may not be able to share this experience together if you can't describe it.
I'm sure I could find it pretty easily.
Okay.
No worries.
I guess I'll just try and grab some bushes and show you, and maybe I'll find it too.
Kitsune, I need you to make, or Ezume, I need you to make a perception check. And then
My passive perception 17, by the way.
Yeah, that's not where I have the DC at. Because it's made a point to say they're whispering and you're on horseback.
Okay. I'm not, if that's not gonna get it, then my regular one's not gonna get either.
Okay. The perception checks for looking out east to the distance.
The only part is that I was like, Henry, we shouldn't kill them.
To the east, anyone who rolled a 15 or higher on their perception checks, which going back to my memory was just you with a 20. You see in the distance smoke.
In the distance.
And as you clock that smoke, you come to a small sign. The sign says 1 mile east, the furthest north outpost of the kingdom of Calypso. And that's what the sign says. And you can assume as you look out to where you saw the smoke, it's far, but not that far. Could be about a mile. You can make an assumption that smoke is coming from Lost Hollow.
It looks like is that smoke a bad?
Oh.
Point to it.
Oh, that's smoke.
Yeah. I mean, it looks like it's coming generally from that town. We should probably make sure it hasn't already been looted. But really, we should make sure that everyone's good.
Make sure everyone's safe.
Exactly. It says it's the furthest known outpost of Calypso, so you never know.
Like chimney smoke, or is it like city smoke?
I should have asked that.
It's
a mile away.
It's a mile away. It's just black smoke. It's hard. It's not like billowing, but you don't have any context of how big this city is either. This town, settlement, whatever you want to call it.
We'll probably get there on 15 minutes, our current pace.
Yeah, about.
Yeah,
I'm at your guys' pace.
What is it?
I'm riding on someone else's horse. I'm at your guys' pace.
Oh. I'm just gonna keep pressing forward.
Okay. So as you guys continue your journey, about 15 minutes later, you come to a scene. And the scene is a small, what used to look like a settlement. You can see where once stood 3 or 4 buildings are now charred and ruined. Just the frames standing in 2 of them. You see nothing but piles of, as you go past the first house, pile of bones, waist high, where it looks like corpses were burnt. As you continue into past the first house and stop your horses, make a perception check.
Can I roll something higher than a fucking 8?
11.
12.
15.
Ooh. 20, 30, 20.
And with advantage?
Yeah.
So Ezume and Henry, you both clock about 50 feet or so. Between 2 of the burnt buildings is a small, looks like a cemetery. In that cemetery, lying between what look to be two freshly dug graves, lies a humanoid.
Oh my.
Yeah, we didn't even get a chance to check this place out. It burned to the ground, it looks like.
How far away is it from us currently?
50 feet. The graveyard is like 50 feet away.
What's the ground around us look like? Is it just like dirt, normal dirt?
Yeah, I mean it is covered in a layer of soot and ash. The fires are still smoking.
I want to dismount and I'm gonna just like walk over to the humanoid, but like carefully.
I'll be like, wait, I have something for this, and I'm gonna grab Philip, and like a football, just.
Make an athletics check.
Oh, I'm good at this.
Really?
Oh, having no faith, I will continue my path towards the
16.
Not a perfect spiral, but damn near close. Philip tucks her legs in, having been used to this technique multiple times, tucks her legs in, and just little tail behind her in the wind. As she plops in the ground next to the humanoid, the creature does not stir. This person does not stir.
Philip, nibble an ear.
Philip, you hear back in your head, "Oh, just nibble an ear." She walks up, and as she goes to nibble the ear, she gets absolutely fucking swatted as this humanoid just, as she like nibbles his ear, just inherently just, and so you just feel it go as she goes flying about 5 feet.
It'll be okay. We got a live one, fellas. Let's go.
I'm gonna still be walking towards it.
So Kitsune, at this point, you'd basically have hit the barrier, and as you walk up to the grave, the humanoid kind of scrambles. It's still got its back to you, and as it spins, it's holding a solid mithril blade in your direction. It is, at first glance, a Eladrin with strawberry blonde hair, freckles on either side of his face, a small dimple in his chin, wearing filthy, blood-soaked clothing. His body, the pieces that you can see, are covered in bruises and fresh wounds. Around his ear is a fresh cut where it looks like someone almost took off his head.
Is the impression I'm getting like he sprung up out of fear, or is it because he looks scared? I guess.
So he is not stood up. He is on his knees, sword in hand. He's not shaking, but like he's on his knees, and he's just, you can tell that he looks exhausted. Like, this man was in a fight. You don't know what has happened here, but this man was clearly in a fight.
I'll just take my hands up with my staff, holding it like, whoa, hey there. Not a part of whatever happened here. Are you good? And like I'll slowly, like half my speed, but continue walking.
That's close enough. Please.
Okay. We're just passing through. We were told to stop by Lost Hollow. So you guys might have rations? I don't know. Clearly that doesn't seem to be the case anymore.
There's nothing here but ash and death.
Did you all get attacked? Were you the attacker?
Kazimek's been with us all day, right?
I'm sorry?
Kazimek's been with us all day, right? He didn't like slip away and like...
Correct.
Ruin a city.
A settlement. I would say 3 houses and a...
Someone beat me to it.
Nature of the mind, D&D.
Every time
We're
he
back!
moves in his chair.
I know, but my feet aren't even close to the white wire. It's near my ankles.
I didn't move my feet.
So, as
That's it. Get a foot cam.
Hey now.
So with hands up, you have your hands up, sword pointed at you. There's Eladrin on his knees. He goes, "No, I'm not an attacker. They came in the night. They said that everyone that built after the Empire would be burnt. That the Emperor had not ordained us to live here. And then they began to kill.
Is that certain someone being led by a certain general? Like still hands up.
They didn't bloody introduce themselves.
I don't know. They did in other cities. At least from what I've heard.
I don't know you. You seem like fine folk. I'd ask you to leave.
I mean, can we at least help you?
What help would you be? I sat on the fresh graves of my daughter and wife. My town, nothing but ash and death.
I can wrap you up real quick. Maybe help with some of the bleeding. Make you feel a little better. Maybe.
The sword's still up. I'm here to die. Nothing more, nothing less.
Well, I know somebody who could probably help you with that.
Oh, hey.
Oh.
He rises quickly to a knee, and in a flash, using the mobile feat, is going to be it right to Kitsune's neck. As soon as you make a half-handed joke about...
That was not a joke at all.
Hold person.
We're here with an axe murderer.
Would I be able, I don't know, this is probably no, but would I in that moment be able to use a key point to go into patient defense?
I'll allow that.
Can I cast a spell?
No. This is all within a flash.
The goal here with patient defense is if he swings to do like the full blown like monk teaching the student, just kind of like roll out of the way, but continue the conversation.
Yeah. As he has the blade up, he just says, "You're welcome to try. They did too."
Unflinching, just his words are his own. I only asked because I care about people. If you only wish to die, that's on you. We will leave you be.
You said that you've seen these people.
And I'll like look to the group and be like, we're not keeping them out of my periphery. I haven't, no, but a lot of their stories, kind of just gesturing, seem to line up with yours. I'm not from around these parts.
He lets the blade fall away from your neck. And as he does, he takes back, it puts in a repose stance and steps backwards until he's got his back against one of the frames of the house and goes, "If you're no friends of this Grey Legion, then you're welcome to stay. But there's nothing here for you." And he just takes the blade, lets it the tip into the dirt, and walks back to the graves of his wife and daughter.
Yeah, Cousin Mac, they'll have an inn and warm food and...
Hey, well, someone beat us here. What can I say? This dude's the only one left. Everyone else is fucking dead, so I don't know what to tell you.
Based off the state of him, like it was like, was it this night he was attacked or the night before?
It looks like the night before.
And he's just kind of like on vigil. And I'll just like back up from him and then like once I'm a distance away, turn around and like to the group of like, I don't think there's much left here.
What do you mean?
I'll gesture to like just the onslaught and like bones piled high, like, take your pick of any burnt down building. Don't think much left here. I don't think it takes a pretty high, intellect to piece that together.
There's plenty here. I don't know what you're talking about. Look at. I will also gesture around to the burned and bones.
Well, you try and scavenge what you can. I think we're probably better off because it's like nighttime, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we're better off just trying to make it through the night at this point, setting up camp. But you're not gonna find a shop to, peruse today.
That is a shame. Perusing is exactly what I had in mind. And I was like, all right, Adam, set up the bed.
Making a mental note that Kazamak's instincts are not very sharp.
So, as Adam begins setting up the campsite for Kaz, what are the rest of you guys doing? This guy, you haven't gotten a name yet, but this guy is just kind of like standing. His body posture is like is watchful. He's just watching you all, keeping very close eye on Vinsire, who made the comment, "There's someone here that could do that for you."
Mm-hmm.
Not me. I've seen it happen a couple times.
Good consumer.
How common are Eladrin in Zata?
Yeah, they're pretty common. The Feywild is a known quantity in Zata, and beings fairly regularly travel between the two planes of existence.
Okay.
It's not uncommon to see Eladrin. They're not like as nearly as common as elves, humans, stuff like that, but they are common.
To make him feel more comfortable, I'm just going to go about my business and not really pay him much mind and keep my back kind of towards him. Like, not like we're trying to keep tabs on what he's doing.
Yeah. What about you, big guy? What are you doing?
Oh, I was gonna do something about that. I just let you go. I didn't.
Yeah, no, I haven't forgotten about you. Go ahead.
No. As they were approaching the humanoid, I was going to ask if I could investigate the pile of bones and then like the houses and see like if there's any identifying markings or anything like that. And then I just want to look.
Yeah, go ahead and make
an
an investigation check.
14.
Yeah, 14. Yeah, as you dismount and you inspect the sites, so there's 4 structures here. 3 used to be houses. 1 used to be like a storehouse. It looks like there's nothing here of value. You spend your time kind of kicking through the bones.
I'm not trying to upset the dead.
Oh, okay. So then, yes, I mean it is. So as you investigate and kind of put 2 and 2 together with 14, you won't get everything, but you get enough. It looks like the town was put to death for the most part, except for this one guy, for whatever reason, was thrown into this building and set on fire.
Like the Patriot.
Exactly like the Patriot, yeah. I didn't make that reference intentionally, but yes.
God damn you, Mel Gibson.
How many like look by judging all the bones and everything, I'm guessing women and children, how many assorted bone sets can I like identify?
There's about 6 people here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, 6 piles of bones is still terrifying. I don't know. Everyone's like, oh, okay. Oh, it's only 6 piles.
It's only 6. It's not a mass casualty. It's only 6 people.
No. Okay. As they're kind of doing their own thing, I'm gonna go since it's nightfall. I'm gonna go search for wood, create a fire, and then I'm going to set up like tiki torch style, just like flames going to like the graves, and I'm gonna spend the time collecting the bones properly and then digging up a grave for each individual, resurrecting a little like what I can find, and then erecting. Just etching
resurrecting each and every one of them,
Every-
rebuilding.
Hey, long back,
I was
dude.
about to say, like, goddamn,
And
we like
killing
owe
him
money
again.
somehow. What the hell?
And then I'm gonna head to I'm just gonna say unknown lost soul on each one because I don't know who they
Yeah.
are.
So as you dig the first grave, so at first, as you approach the graveyard, this individual is going to challenge you.
Okay.
As you come near the graves, he kind of like slowly tiredly brings the sword up and is like, I wouldn't.
Wouldn't what?
I wouldn't come closer.
And do you feel I'm a danger to you? All I'm doing is giving these people a proper burial. It's the least that can be done.
Not here.
No, I wasn't. Do you want me to stay away from these graves?
Those are gray men. And I'll not have them anywhere near my family.
Is that your family that is over in the house?
So you no. So you're talking about burying these bodies.
Mhm.
He made the point to say those are gray men. You will not bury them here near my family.
So he.
I'm just gonna be like. So the bones that are in the house, you trap them there and set them on fire. I'm guessing.
He smirks. He goes, no. I cut them down. One after the other.
Is there any innocents here that died needlessly that needs to be buried?
He gestures to the freshly dug graves behind him. He goes, not anymore.
That's kind of covered.
I see. I will dispose of these bodies somewhere else then.
You can leave them where they left them. In the ash and ruin.
I made all these signs. But I made all these
He goes, it's commendable, to bury the dead. But that honor should belong to those who were truly living. These gray men were butchers.
Then I will not give them the dignity of being buried individually. They'll be buried in a mass grave somewhere away from where you know. Even though they may have done evil in the world, you do not want their souls and their bodies, their souls and their beings haunting you for the rest of their life. It closes the loop on the peace at you. This is the way the gods would like it.
He thinks for a moment. He goes, the gods are dead. And then he drops the sword again and walks towards the fire that has been started. Who all is sitting around the fire?
Great.
Is anybody eating?
I can bust open a herring if he needs it.
So,
Eating ration.
I salted.
as you guys are kind of sitting down and doing like your whatever it is that you're doing at that point in time, to those of you who are sitting and eating, you guys will hear footsteps as Brahm and this Eladrin come walking up behind you. Straight to Ezime, the Eladrin walks. He kind of clears his throat. Apologies for earlier. Well,
Unmoving from the fire, she's just kind of like, lack of a better term, like crisscross applesauce meditating, staring directly at the fire, but like will not break contact with the fire. You'd be like, no need. I get it. I've lost my fair share too.
I'm Vaneth. And truly, I am sorry. You seem like a decent enough lot. Would you mind if I shared your fire?
And I'll just like, am I on like a log right now? What am I on?
Yeah, you're just sitting on the ground. There's no. This was not a campsite. This was a little homestead, like a 4-family homestead that has just been burnt to the fucking ground. So there was like a central part of this, like, it's small. It's like 100 feet area where these houses existed. Like there's nothing here. Just a small settlement in the middle of the woods.
Extend a hand and I'll just like pat the ground.
Vaneth walks over and sits down next to Kit.
I'm gonna try to bury the bones without him noticing this is over by the fire.
Yeah.
Away from where his family's at.
Yeah. So you can.
It's in the same range.
Yeah. So you you go to you can go bury the bones. That's easy enough.
I'm gonna go into the tree line.
Okay. Yeah. It'd take you a while. 6 bones is a big ass grave. 6 piles of bones.
Oh, no, I'm just gonna be one mask right now.
That's what I'm saying. It's still a big ass.
6 by 6.
Who says I'm gonna dig a 6-foot fucking grave?
6 inches deep, shallow grave.
It's gonna
Yeah.
be be a foot deep.
You bury the bones. Takes you about an hour to do. So as you're doing that out in the wood line, you guys hear as he's digging the hole. What are the rest of you guys doing? You're now sitting around this fire, eating with this stranger Vaneth.
So, Vaneth. What's the
Vaneth. Vaneth. We'll just get
It's
that.
Christina.
oh and
Get my wife's name right.
A lot of movie references we're getting out of this today.
it's a classic.
Oh, like a Patriot, right? I did not make that correlation. Yes.
So what's the any story behind that blade you pulled up earlier? Looks pretty nice.
Does it? It's the blade that killed my wife and daughter.
That's a finely crafted blade.
Mithril, if I'm not mistaken.
What
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and point out here that none of you in your wildest dreams would be able to get your hands on a mithril sword, right?
I just want to know what it looks like then.
You would know what it is by the description. Mithril was how the Grey Emperor got his rise. The Grey Emperor doesn't have a name other than the Grey Emperor. No one knows who he was before this, but he walked into a town. He figured out how to make mithril armor. He found a vein. He walked into a town and slaughtered it. Took 10 of the best men that joined his cause and rinsed and repeated until he conquered what is now known as South Zata, south of the walls of Warwick. He then established High Zata, brought 1,000 men north and clad in suits of plate mithril, and began his conquest. That is how he made his mark. Mithril is exceedingly rare these days. Those blades that had made it up north were mostly ceremonial or were given to people of great importance. So kings, queens, high counselors, things of that nature that showed favor or helped the emperor throughout his reign. They are exceedingly rare, like maybe 3 dozen swords, mithril weapons, even fewer sets of armor. There are 2 known sets of mithril armor in the north.
Jesus.
It is exceedingly rare. You would know it by its description, the way it shines, this pale blue. It's beautiful.
You said the men that attacked your settlement were wielding those?
Yes.
All of them?
All of them, to a number. I arrived at the end, saw the smoke from my hunt, and rode with post haste. When I got here, the town had been slaughtered and the fires were raging. An older man, gray in his beard, tossed a sword at my feet and told me to fight. And I fought. And I fought. And I killed. And I killed. Until I could not lift my sword arm. And then he gestures to the slash on his neck. It looks like someone just didn't finish the job. Like took a swing, saw a spray of blood, and guy on the ground. Yeah. And he tells the story. He goes, until they walked up, slashed at my neck, and left me for dead.
Wait, so you weren't able to kill all of them. Some of them escaped.
And most escaped.
Did their armor look anything like that blade?
Some.
Well,
Brom, you can finish at this point.
Okay.
You're left.
I'm gonna walk back and then walk up to him because he said his name when I wasn't there. Now I'm gonna reach down, just reach out my hand to him. I'm gonna like, my name is Brom. Yours?
Vaneth.
Vaneth? Do you want me to help you with those wounds?
He kind of like, for the first time, like looks at himself. In the light of the fire, you guys would notice, I mean, he's fairly fucked up. He's got cuts like muscle deep on both of his arms where he was like blocking blows. You can see that he was like clubbed, just like the bruises on his arms, his face. Like he's a fairly beat up fucking guy. He kind of like looks at himself and goes, yes, I think that would be fine. Thank you.
I'm gonna do healing word on him.
Huh?
And just 8 points of healing.
All right.
Max health.
8 points of healing. So, he kind of, after the healing, he goes, thank you. It was kind. There seems to be a lack of that these days. Might I ask, what brings you all the way out here? Like, looks around the fire to all of you.
Well, truth be told, I was really hoping there'd be a settlement here, but I should like glance around. We're actually heading somewhere else, and this was just kind of short detour.
Ah. So chance meeting. Where were you headed?
We're making our way to good grass, actually. Vinsire over here's got something that he wants to do.
He smiles shyly at Vinsire. Well met, Vinsire.
To be clear about earlier, if you wish to die, I know Kazamak just would have been more than willing to help you with that. I've learned recently it's kind of his thing.
Go ahead and make insight checks.
All of us?
Yep.
17.
19.
13. The boy's like, please kill me.
Yeah, he did not like that at all. The body language shifts once again at yet another offer to have a party member kill someone.
Was not an offer, was a clarification of a misunderstanding that transpired earlier.
You guys said it twice.
If someone says, I want to die, your initial thought is, wow, that guy wants to die. Not, I'm going to fight for my life when this guy offers to help me with that.
Can I just raise a little goblin hand? And he's not from around here. He just more recently came to more social settings.
I don't understand why everyone speaks in riddles.
If you'd like me to be more blunt, Vinsire, you don't pick up on social cues very well.
That's a weird vibrator.
So, he kind of just like, you see him relax the slightest, but he's still definitely on guard now.
Yeah, no,
Your words, not mine. I'm just trying to be helpful.
Yeah, I mean we're on our way to good grass, and then eventually, probably somewhere near Blackmore. You're welcome to tag along if you want. Unless you plan on staying.
And then as he finishes that, I'm gonna look at him. I'm like, Faith, what is your plans?
It's Vaneth.
And
And he says,
I probably said wrong.
he did. That's right. It's in character. It's fine.
Vaneth.
He goes, one more time, ask the question.
Vaneth, what is your plans?
He's going to say, well, haven't had much time to think, but I believe that I have business with this empire and whatever it is it's after.
Well, to go on that kind of vendetta, you're gonna need some gold. If you want gold, you're probably gonna have to leave here.
He goes, I've got this. And he taps the blade again.
Fair enough. That, I'm sure, is worth a pretty penny.
In the sake of goodwill, I'll offer you the knowledge when they attacked me. We got about 28 days before apparently they go after Calypso. So that's a destination and a timeline for you.
Kind of, so you've all had run-ins with this empire?
The specific general, I think me and Brahm have met the same man. Henry, did you say?
Yeah, I met him.
And this man, does he have a name?
He does. I specifically wrote this down. One moment.
General Durton Flaft.
General Flaft Overton.
First Legion of the Grey Empire.
He goes, well,
He's a human.
then I will find him and I will kill him.
You heard me say First Legion, General.
You saw what I could do with a borrowed blade in no time and no armor. What do you think a man of my caliber could do?
Fair warning, he has no sense of humor.
This is not a laughing matter.
He kind of looks awkwardly between like the party and then kind of like takes a beat and says, if you're heading north, I could use the company on the road until I can make it to a major settlement. if I could walk or behind the horses, or would you mind if I followed?
Not at all, but you might have to share a horse.
Henry, you look perplexed.
Henry's he's just thinking. He's taking it all in. Slowly just letting the man talk. Not trying to probe him for anything. He's just taking the info he's given, and
So, with that in the air, we're going to take a break. So,
Yes, come along with us.
with that in the air, we will pause there, take a 15-minute break. I'll see you guys back at the table, and we will pick up and figure out what we're going to do with Meneth. So, that being said, see you after the break. So, as we pick up, we're sitting around the fire. We have this basic stranger, Vaneth, this Eladrin stranger, Vaneth, sitting around with us at the fire. We have heard his story about what has happened here to his wife, his daughter, his fellow settlers here. And as right before we went to break, he asked if he could accompany you north along the road for safety. Go ahead.
Can I just insight check him?
Sure.
Oh, powerful insight on Henry. 14.
With a 14, he is tense. He is tired. He is emotional. But he seems to be telling the truth. There may be portions of it. The story of him fighting and fighting 6 people may seem far-fetched, but there does seem to be evidence that supports it. With the 14, I would say that I think you would more so get the feeling that he's off because of everything that's happened and not off because he's hiding something.
Okay. Okay. Well, you're more than welcome to join us on the road, friend. You know? We're going that way anyway. Might as well travel together. Safety in numbers, after all.
Thank you. And you said you were heading to Goodgrass, Blackmore?
Kind of both, honestly.
Well, good grass first, I believe, and then we were gonna head our ways to Blackmore, and who knows after that.
Well, I can certainly accompany you on the road to Goodgrass. Safety in numbers. And if they've attacked here, maybe they'll attack again somewhere along the road.
Yes, I was worried about that myself. Did you see which way they went? Or you were just not...
I was unconscious.
Hmm.
But I assume west. There's no road east.
Maybe we'll run into him again and help you finish off the last one. It's been a minute since I got into a scuffle.
So you guys will remember from his story that there were about 100 of these people.
Okay, never mind. It's been a minute since I got into a scuffle. And it against an entire army.
What's the rest of the party doing? Saying, thinking. What are we doing?
I would, if you allow me in this time, would have continued meditating and hopefully gotten a short rest. But then I would shortly be going to bed probably after for my 4 hours of sleep and then 4 hours of potion making.
Okay. Yeah, well, that's all sounds fine. Nothing wrong there. Everyone else? What are you guys doing up to talking? I mean, you can engage with Van F. You also don't have to, but
I do want to talk to him, but as I'm talking to him, I kind of want to like be sizing him up. Like, if we get into a fight, is this dude just gonna get fucked, or like did he just get lucky? Is his story an entire lie, and they thought they killed him and just left him, and the bones are actually other villagers? Or I know he already made the insight checks, not necessarily that, but
so he's like six.
like, is he a hardened fighter, or is he just
6'2"?
that-
Doesn't seem. I mean, I'd say more lithe and nimble than he is big and burly. He's probably $190.
But he doesn't bench 225.
But I mean, yeah, he did. I mean, there's not much you can get by just looking at someone whether or not they're going to be good in the fight. But
no, yeah.
I mean, if his story is true, then I mean, he appears to be good in the fight.
So Vanna, you lived in this area your whole life, I guess?
No, far from it.
Really?
No. From the Feywild for most of my life.
What brought you to this small corner of the woods?
He looks over his shoulder at the grave. Love.
Well, yeah, I've heard that does things to people. Have you ever heard of an item called the Celestial Orb? This one does not give a fuck.
Quit.
Family. Have you in your time in the Feywild, believe it or not, we actually met someone from there last night. In either case, seems to be quite, popping with magic and stuff. You haven't heard of anything by the name of a Celestial Orb, have you?
Not until those men.
What do you mean? They were looking for it.
Kind of like sizes you up. Yes, they were.
Well, it appears we have a common enemy then.
It would appear.
I'm gonna look at him like. So when did you leave the Feyland?
It's been. Oh, I've been.
Yeah, I'm gonna make this character think. That's a good question. You gotta do math.
He goes about a dozen years since I left the wild. 15 on and off. But
Never met a polar bear from the Feywilds, have you?
no. Can't say that I have. But everyone knows of the King of Fey. Or the former King of Fey. I've never had the pleasure of meeting myself.
He is a very jolly fellow, to say the least. Kind of a scammer, too, if I'm being honest.
Well, the Fey are Fey, after all.
So they are. Well,
I had a great time at that carnival.
yeah, all I got was this lousy ring.
Did you still want me to look at that, by the way, Kazumak?
I think above table, Andrew said it's just a normal ass ring.
Yeah, he put it on, so he would attune to it over an hour. So in the hour that he would have attuned to it, he would have realized that it is not a magical ring.
Just a normal ass ring that I paid 10 gold for. Probably worth about 10 gold.
That's offering. That's why.
Andrew, I don't know how this is gonna work. I kind of want to lean back to where like he doesn't see my eyes, but I really want to study him because I feel like he's fucking lying.
Okay.
I just want to study his body posture, his like wounds. Nothing like too overtly where I'm just like mean mugging him, but it's like one of those things where you just kind of like you lean back and you're like, you're lying to me. I feel like you're lying.
Sure. I mean, you guys have all already made an insight check several times, but so I'm not gonna.
I just want to study what he looks like. The bruises, the scars, everything.
One more time again. My man is beat up. He 100% looks like he's been in a fight. Like 100% looks like he's been in a fight. He looks like he's been beaten. Looks like he's been bruised from flats of blades or maybe clubs. You can see cut marks like through the muscle. Before you had healed him, he had cut marks like down to the muscle, like deep wounds in his arms from blades. So I mean, he was in a fight. Whether or not you choose to believe the story of that fight is another matter entirely, but he was indeed in a fight. He looks like a man who just lost whose wife and child are dead, that was beat to shit and left for dead, is what he looks like. He looks jumpy. And, well, I mean, he's been jumpy this entire time. And yeah, that's Van Ness right now.
Okay. I'm gonna have him like said a little bit about how he discovered the orb. Trying to get ready to make my way to bed. And be like, all right, Adam. For those of us that have to sleep, you know the drill. Keep an eye out.
Vaneth's gonna like get up, like pat his knees and like get up.
Good old fucking Midwestern goodbye.
He's gonna go.
Well,
I thank you for the fire and the hospitality. But I'll sleep over there, away from your group, and rejoin you in the morning. And he kind of like does like a nod and like walks off from the fire. He goes over to one of the burnt out houses, and kind of like leans up against the corner, like in the corner of one of those houses.
Try to shut the door.
where are the horses, Andrew?
Wherever you want them to be.
I want Midnight to be by us. Like, this fucker ain't taking my horse and escaping in the middle of the night.
No.
Well, I mean, I don't believe Adam would let him, but
And we'll keep it a sharp eye out.
Are there any trees nearby?
I'm sorry?
Are there any trees nearby?
Not like nearby, but like off to the wood line, yeah.
Is there any place that I can like duck out for sleep?
Sure.
Would it be like immediately next to the rest of the group?
Yeah, absolutely. You can. I mean, it's so to kind of paint like a broader picture of this area. There's like 100 feet of like cleared wood that was very clearly cleared by hand. It's uneven. There's places where like they couldn't get the roots up, and it's trodden into like dirt, like in this general area between these like 4 buildings that are now burnt down. But yes.
I think well before any of this would have happened, she would have gotten up to go to bed. That way she could get up early and do her normal 4 hours of potion making.
Before I go to bed, I'm gonna pull out my sending stone, and I'm just gonna be like, Ishmael, it's Kaz. I'm sure you're not Eclipso yet, but if you see anyone by the Grey Army, they're looking for the orb too. Back.
Okay. You get nothing in return. That motherfucker chucked that stone the moment he was out of earshot. That stone was gone and that gold was pocketed.
I figure that's why
The moment.
I only gave him 10 gold.
You get nervous.
Nice.
10 gold's a lot of gold.
Not for me, brother.
Damn.
All right, Big Spindo, calm down.
He doesn't have that much gold, just to be very clear.
That was
I don't want the party thinking that I gave anybody a bunch of gold.
It was enough. I was okay with losing it.
It was a bet I knew I was gonna lose.
I was like, hey, you never know. Yeah, no, I'll just head to bed.
I'm gonna kind of just stay by the fire, watching everyone go to sleep. I'm gonna wait for some time to pass where it looks like everyone's asleep. And then how far did Vaneth go away from the fire?
He's just on the other side where he was when you guys found him. He's just like sleeping, leaned up against one of the burned out houses.
Is he within 30 feet, you would say?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm going to try something.
Okay.
All right. Detect thoughts, but I'm going to skim the surface without him knowing I'm there to see what he's dreaming about, what he's thinking about.
Just him.
Just him.
this is gonna get dark.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He is restless. I mean, he's not asleep yet. He's just restlessly kind of stirring. His thoughts are focused on his wife and daughter, who are dead. His surface thoughts are about his wife and daughter.
Do I see what they look like, at least?
It's not how the spell works. It's not like you're reading
You, like,
his
hear them.
thoughts. Yeah. You're not like seeing a vision that he's seeing.
Okay. So
Yeah.
I'm just basically hearing everything he's...
Yeah, it's what he's like thinking about. Like you just hear like the words that he's like rolling over in his head.
Would I hear the combat that he fought?
It's not how the spell works.
Damn it. I'm skimming the surface.
It says internal monologue. That's what you're hearing.
Yeah, you got to read the spells,
Oh,
brother.
yeah.
Internal monologue means
You're hearing like the chatter that he's talking to himself.
Okay, so that's what the internal monologue means. Because I was reading it, it was like the surface thoughts.
So when you think about like in your like when you're not really focusing on anything and you just have like thoughts floating through your head, that sort of like just chatter to yourself that you don't even realize you're doing. That's what you're picking up on. If you were to delve deeper and he would have failed his wisdom save, that's when you're getting like the root of like thought, and like you're able to delve more into the detect thought spell.
In which he knows I'm there.
If you
If he fails, he would realize he's getting his mind right into.
No, the spell says no matter if he fails or saves, he knows you're there.
Well, I just mean if it's successful, like regardless. But yeah, but like if it's successful, then you get to see more, do more, kind of thing.
Oh, sorry.
More bots. Okay, so I'm just gonna skim the surface to see what if he was actually the internal monologue was matching up with what he was saying.
his thoughts are wife and daughter, and he's thinking about that celestial orb now.
Orb.
Like he's just running across, like, gotta get it first, can't let them get it. My wife and my daughter. Yeah, he's just running over, like, replaying the moment that his wife and daughter dead. Like, I should have protected them. I should have protected them. I should have protected them. I should have protected them.
Okay.
Before, can I take an hour to make a minor potion? It's a bruise brew. It helps heal bruises.
Yep.
Just a minor. It's like no special ingredients or anything. It's just like the general stuff. Super.
Sure. Yeah, you can do that. Okay.
I'm gonna take 4 hours to scribe in my book.
Yeah.
And same thing as before. Philip's gonna take a watch, and I'm going to go into my old man's sleep.
And then before I go to bed, I'm gonna go try to find a hiding spot kind of deeper in the wood line, just because I am afraid.
Okay.
I don't think Vaneth likes me very much. I'll make it like to the point where I would like to make a stealth check to try to find a hiding spot.
Okay. Sure. Make a stealth check.
Okay.
You feel hidden.
I'm not very good at these.
Christian, are you wearing a Sasuke sweatshirt right now?
Itachi.
I figured it was one or the other. I just saw the fan on the back for the Uchiha clan.
Yeah.
Sorry, had to bust out the weave knowledge real quick.
I don't know what any of those words
all I
mean.
heard was a fan. And
They're really cool.
They are really cool.
I rolled a
Itachi is
12.
OP.
The only thing I know about Hitachi
12,
is they
you-
make tools.
You feel hidden.
Cool. And then that's where I'll take my.
Well, that's one thing they
Close.
make.
They make a lot of dead people. That's what they make.
So, I believe that's everybody now. Has gone to bed. As you sleep in the night, pretty good night of sleep, honestly. When you wake up, everything seems to be fine. Vaneth is in his spot where he has been. Seems to have fallen asleep finally. As you guys come from your various sleeping locations, nothing has really changed. The fires, like the smoke, is no longer coming from the fires have finally died out over the last 36 hours or so. I guess it'd be closer to 48, honestly. But as that scene is painted, that is what you walk into. The sleeping Vaneth. Horses are where you left them. And you guys rising for your morning routines. So, what would the party like to do?
I have been up for 4 hours, doing my morning sunrise salutations and potion creation. That's what I'm doing.
I'm gonna immediately cast Unseen Servant and have Clive start hitching up my horse. That way Brahm doesn't beat us again.
Okay. So, as you guys kind of do your breakfast morning routine, right? You're eating your rations, you're packing up the horses, you're getting ready to go. Vaneth wakes and walks over. As he wipes the sleep from his eyes, he just kind of says, "Well, I managed to get a few winks last night. Still okay with me riding along."
Yeah, come on along.
Sure.
The more the merrier is what I'm told.
We do only have the 4 horses, though. So you have to shack up with someone.
Oh, Vinsire, you're young and strapping. You can walk.
I paid for this horse.
Oh, I was just saying, the man just lost his family. Come on.
Your horse looks pretty strapping, Henry. You might be able to fit him on it.
Well, you don't want to ride with me anymore? The one herring fight, and we're not horse buddies anymore?
Oh, no, that's
He was
fine.
riding with me.
And Sire and I have been chatting about potions and herbalism, so it's been pretty nice actually.
Just a lot of deep honesty about who we are as people. Just really opening up and being honest.
Really? That's good. Good for you. Good for you. I'd love to see how that works out. Yeah, I mean, we can try to double up on this big black horse I got if you want. But I'm in front.
Yes, that would be fine. Thank you.
Oh, this is Philip, by the way. Philip? Shake his hand.
He, for the first time, smiles. It's a quick smile, a flash of a smile, but it's there. And he goes, "Philip, nice to meet you." And he reaches out a hand and shakes a little rat paw.
Very good. Very good. This is going to be a good... I like you.
Yeah, I don't like him.
You know, just
She's a big fan of you as well. Philip.
Esme will just yell over. Philip's a bit judgy. Just make sure you're careful what you say.
Philip can be a bitch sometimes, but she's fine.
If we're doing sidekick introductions, then this is Adam.
Hello.
Oh, fuck.
takes his hand, puts it across his chest, goes,
Hail Searcher.
"I am Adam." The Vaneth kind of looks at him and goes, "I'm Vaneth. Adam?" And just like looks at the creature.
No facial expression.
Yeah, none at all.
Just
I don't know. Are we just about to? Are we taking off right now, or is this?
unless you want to hang around and enjoy the smell of soot and burning, then yeah, probably.
Okay, fair enough. We'll eat on the ride, but before I'll just approach Vaneth with my bruise potion. Like it's small apologies, but I made this. If you apply it to your bruises, they should clear up in about an hour.
Oh, thank you. He takes it from you. That was kind.
Apparently, I'm not very good at this. I'm learning, so you're welcome. And then I'm gonna go back to my horse.
When you get back, already like sitting on the back saddle, I'm like, "Good job."
Thank you.
Yeah, he'll apply that as he's like getting on the back of the horse. He just like rubs it on his arms and his chest.
Who's leading us out of here? Who's
I think Henry said that he's in the front.
all right.
I can lead the way. I've been to good grass before. I can get us there.
All right, lead on, old man.
Brom. Okay. So, as you guys step off on horseback, we enter day 4, which would be the
the 11th day of the second month.
We're on the 4th day of travel. You guys are essentially like the block directly north of the city of Calypso. So you'll spend a day traveling towards, if you're looking at the map, the digital map, Be where essentially will end the day where the horse is. The King's Road horse. So we'll end about right here.
Okay. So
Right at the edge of good grass.
a little over halfway then.
Yeah, a little over halfway.
I want to ridden up to Henry and Vaneth.
Okay.
Hey, Vaneth, you said you're from the Feywilds.
Yes, at one point.
What do you know about the Kino Kage?
I have no idea what that is.
Oh, yeah. Never mind.
Is this a conversation out loud?
I would say it loud enough where it could be overheard intentionally.
So with a passive perception of 17?
I'm not God, so I don't know. I'm not yelling.
Yeah, you'd pick it up.
Asking Andrew, that's not a you question.
Yeah, you pick it up.
All right, unfazed, just tracking the conversation. Picking the weeds and Vinsire is like back fur or like whatever clothes he's wearing since he's a tiefling, not
I am a tiefling, but it would look like I have fur, just how rugged my clothes are.
Yeah, it's basically burlap. It's anything that can be made from plants.
Yeah.
So
the second I heard those words be said, I'm always like on edge with Kazamak, but now I'm just like the radar dish has been shifted that way, but I'm still doing the same thing.
Yeah. Henry, you are in front. So Henry, you owe me a D6.
Make it count.
It's gonna be a 2.
Ooh,
Just get a 2.
Double twos.
Or dead family members.
Double deuces. Another bird out town.
I'm blind.
You guys make it through the day without issue. We've already rolled a 2 on our D6 today, and I don't restock it, so a 2 is nothing. So you guys experience no setbacks on your travels.
Can I be keeping my eyes peeled for foliage or any fungi or saps?
Guys.
Nice.
You sure can. He makes a check. Let me look at something real quick. So, you throughout the day would see you'd be able to collect some bloodroot.
All right.
And some cat's tongue.
What is this? The devil's lettuce?
All right.
Loaf's lettuce? What?
I have a surprise for you, Brom.
Anyone else, as you guys are riding, anything that you'd like to do? Say, Henry, you have Vaneth, so do you have anything that you'd like to do?
No, I think I'm just gonna like take it easy, make light conversation. Like, oh yeah, the weather. I was having a nice day. Just
The weather outside is weather.
exactly. It's the most boring like conversation to where he can still like talk but not have to like open up or like relive what he's kind of been through. Just kind of
You're just filling the void of talking.
exactly.
Azame, Kitsune.
I would be very specifically looking for 2 things: red amanita mushrooms and trying my best to find whatever bush Vinsire is talking about.
We can only find it.
I'm gonna be grabbing bushes and being like, "Is this it?"
And every time I will be like, nope, 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 nope.
Yeah, so go ahead. I'll allow you to make a perception check. So go ahead and make a perception check.
Give me a good roll. Not a good roll. That's a 12.
Yeah, even with your passive perception at 17 or 18, whatever it is, without me pulling it up, I guess I could just pull it up. I think it's 17. Right? Yeah, 17.
17.
With a pest perception of 17 in that roll, you do not find any red amanita mushrooms.
But I found a whole lot of underbrush that I think is the Marusa bush or whatever it's called.
Marusa bush.
You grab a bunch of bushes throughout the day, and none of them are the bush that you're looking for.
I put my hands in a briar at one point, and I'm just like stuck with it.
After you hurt yourself, I would tell you, it's like, I think you're not going to find it around here. We might have to buy this one. It's probably not going to be around here.
You know, when I said I need more context about what kind of bush it is, and you said it's just a bush, that background information of it's not in this area probably would have been helpful too, though.
I won't lie to you. I panicked. I did need to check my notes.
You could have said that too. I get it. I know a lot, but I don't know everything.
I love that I know that Kyle and I are looking at the exact same place of the exact same document right at this exact same moment. Because I know what he's looking at. Because as I was letting you roll for something that you could not possibly find here, Kyle looked at me and went, You gotta let your players figure it out for themselves. And you guys did.
I liked pressing the moment because I knew Kyle had no understanding of what it was. You can't tell me anything. It's one very specific plan.
There's not a lot of details in this guide. It's a very good guide. It's out of the GM binder, so gmbinder.com. But it is a really good like herbalism, alchemy guide. But it doesn't have a ton of details on some of the stuff. Some of it does, but some of it, like what the ingredients look like, that's all to the DM. So,
yeah. But I know it's a more arid area, like a desert or a savanna. Probably we'll find Marusa, which I don't know much about Zata, but I don't know of any arid areas close to good grass.
Well, yeah, not really close to good grass. That's like Ur or the Crags.
Hopefully, good grass has some in the store because I would
really
like
far north or really far south. So yeah, maybe a store.
Okay. But there are other things we can look for, which are good. Dream Lily is always great. Cat's tongue, very important. And I have those, so I'll show you those two. They look like this.
Red amanita mushrooms. It is.
The cat's tongue is a kind of pinkish flower. I almost think of it as like a tiger lily, except for it has like a very like thick piece of flower flesh that like comes out that looks like a tongue, and it literally looks like a pink cat's tongue. It's rigid. It's got like bumps on it for like the pollen for the spores to come out. So it looks exactly like the cat's tongue. The Pixie's parasol is easy. It's Pixie parasol.
That's a real point.
Yeah.
And the red amanita mushrooms are,
Red.
Are you out of mushrooms, Esme? Are you?
No, I got one left that I'm working with. I should hopefully, last one I kind of burnt it at the end, but maybe tonight I'll have another potion.
Okay, well, if you want like a second set of eyes when you go through this.
I don't know. I live by the practice of, learn through doing.
Well, yeah, that's why I'm not going to interrupt, but maybe I could just point and advise.
That's okay. I've been doing, things for a while. So
just help provide a helping action towards you.
This is kind of like, a midlife hobby I'm picking up.
Okay. Well, I've been doing it my whole life, so no big deal.
If I mess up the second one, I'll come for you for the third one.
Okay. Fair enough. We're square. It's a deal. Vaneth, do you do potions? Do you know anything about alchemy or?
I genuinely don't remember. Let's see here. I was never much one for potions and alchemy. I'm not bad with tinkering, little inventions and
tinkering,
fixing things. Yeah. Yes. If I had any of my stuff, I'd show you, but
So, what have you built? I'm like,
Oh,
Kazmak is visually
built's not the right word. I tinker. I take scraps of metal and turn them into something useful, or I can build a lock mechanism, or simple things like that. I'm not an expert or a craftsman by any means. It's just something I picked up along the way.
Yeah, I'm somewhat of a tinkerer myself.
Ah, well, I see that you've that like points back to Adam, who's like running behind the horses.
It's 16 miles.
My man is double action dashing every fucking chance he's got.
He doesn't get exhausted, so yeah, no, I built him a while back actually. Pretty useful in a pinch.
I could see that. Having a walking and talking suit of armor would have been helpful back in the day.
Back in the day, you military man?
At one point, yeah.
For who?
For the elves.
Huh. Oh, and he's a human, right?
No, he's
How
he's an
old are
Eladrin.
you? If it's don't mind me if it's rude to ask. I don't know those things.
Only slightly. I'm 137.
And then how long ago did the Bleeding Woods battle happen?
Oh, hold on, I need to check my math. I might have to correct that because that's a good point.
That was my main thing.
Yeah. Let me check my math. I think I'm close.
The timeline.
I think it is about that time frame.
Resources.
No, he'd have to be much older.
Like 250, 300.
Yeah, he'd have to be. Well, you guys are thinking of one thing. You're thinking of the Bleeding Wood, like in the year like 80, right? Yeah.
Like
there's more there than just if you have an entire population. So there's been we'll do it in character. Yes, I didn't fight in that war. Not the Bleeding War. One of the smaller rebellions in the latter years.
Oh.
So you're from she'll pipe up. Are you from the High Watch area, or did you?
No. Some elves were known to us in the Feywild, and when our cousins were being oppressed, there were some of us who took up arms and went to the Bleeding Woods to fight.
And you said he was how old? Like 120?
135, I believe is what I said.
Okay. I mean, yeah. I mean, I get that. You're young.
I'm gonna roll for the first time today.
Oh.
Veneth's gonna make an insight check.
Oh.
And did very poorly.
Oh. He's like, yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
Hey, I have a pretty good pulse on when all those things happened. Boy was like in his 20s, like Elvin, like his genuine actual age 20s.
Yes, my ancestors were there as well.
Interesting.
On the other side.
I'm assuming he was in like. So, Vaneth, did you fight the Hadozi?
Oh, yes. Quite skilled in combat, the Hadozi. Able to swing from the tree branches completely off the ground for entire fights. Wild. There's a reason why the elves haven't been able to fight them off.
Yeah, I'm a little bit more well versed in that. And then I'll just be like, I'm from Letty's Hold. It's rumor traveled pretty quickly of the loss.
Well, people fight, and people die. It's been the way of my entire life. You see, 135 years, I've seen free cities rise. I've seen settlements rise and fall. Yeah, it's been quite a journey thus far.
Well, hopefully, you can see some, hopefully some calm in the next couple. I think you've earned it.
Well, here's hoping. So, anyone else? Okay. As we close our 4th day of travel, we come to kind of a different. The setting is changing around us. The grass that's in the woods that have kind of been on the side of the road, and it's been intermittent. A lot of this has been like grasslands for the most part. Most north and west of Calypso is grasslands. And there was intermittent forest and things of that nature. But now you've noticed the grass itself is transitioned. Gone is this kind of like pale, sickly green, a lot of weeds. And now it is this beautiful kind of bluish green grass as far as the eye can see.
That's what we like to call Kentucky bluegrass.
It is 100% modeled after Kentucky bluegrass.
Yes.
But this is simply called good grass. We have reached the border of what is considered good grass. It is a natural border set by the absolutely exquisite grazing grass that rings good grass. Now, you'll also notice that around good grass, if you were to look at it on a map from the sky, is surrounded with kind of not a very dense forest at all. If you were to look far east of the Bleeding Woods, that's a dense forest. Good grass is more of, I'd say it's more like Western Maryland than it is like Maine, if that makes sense. A lot of trees, but like not so much that you can't just walk through the woods. Herd animals, the forests are like loose enough that herd animals, like natural herd animals, graze inside of good grass. The pastures here, as you start to slow your horses, you come upon the first pasture of good grass. And granted, you're still a good, 2 days away from good grass. But the first pasture you come to, you notice there's no fence. And indeed, these, if you could call them cattle, I mean, they're definitely cattle-esque, but they look more like a wild variant. Like if cattle just run free and breeding however they wanted to. These are woolly in places. They're not pretty to look at, but they are very well fed, very well muscled. They look good, and you get the sense. Got to make nature checks.
27.
5 today, 2.
That is 21 actually.
Oh, wow.
9.
15.
Okay, so everybody except for Henry and Ezume, Kitsune. As you
Someone to find out who the fuck I actually am.
I've been asking you to be honest with me all day.
Oh, I know.
Not in my culture's MO to do that.
as you guys look out, everyone except for Henry and Ezume are able to put together that it certainly looks as though good, like and some of you have more understand. Henry has been here before and like knows about good grass, so Henry doesn't even matter that you know this automatically. So everyone except, actually, you know what? You would probably know about good grass as well through the Inari.
Well, I traveled through it coming to Calypso.
Yeah, but I don't think traveling through it, you would know, you know what I mean? Like, it's not enough to just like travel through it. I think you'd have to spend some time there or have heard about it and read about it a lot. All of you put together or from your various methods that Good Grass is not a farm town so much as it is as a massive wild hunting ground. The terrain here is perfect. The weather here is perfect year round. It sits just below the equator. It is never snows. It's always got damp rain. The grass constantly is growing, and the animals here breed like fucking rabbits. So even the wild cattle, all the way down to like, like actual wild rabbits, like it is a it is a robust hunting ground here. So the farmers, these pastures, are actually like private hunting lands. So think of it as like less of like I'm a farmer who's working my 40 acres as I'm a hunter who has rights on these private land.
So a game preserve, pretty much.
Essentially, a game preserve, but no one's put up a fence. It's the animals stay here because of how wonderful it is to be here.
Yeah.
Right.
If Johnny dies, Johnny dies. I love my grass.
Yeah, basically.
Welcome.
So, as you guys pull over into this pasture, scaring a herd of wild cattle off. Good sound effects. You guys begin to set up camp once again. So,
are our horses going nuts on the grass?
oh yeah, oh absolutely fucking yeah. They're like destroying this like little spot of the pasture. Like the horses are eating like they've never ate. They would be super fucking hungry because you guys don't stop except for like once a day. So like, but they are absolutely crushing this bluegrass.
Oh, there you go, Sally. Get some grass.
So
I don't know why, but when you said crushing this bluegrass, I'm like, I just thought a bunch of fucking horses playing music.
but then they're playing Blues Traveler.
Yeah.
With their hooves.
So as you guys begin to get off your horses, Van Neth is gonna, as before you can even finish your stop, Henry, Van Neth's gonna kind of slide off the back, and just kind of like begin walking and clearing a spot. Starts collecting firewood. It's about 7 p.m. at this point, so it's later in the day. The sun, it's February. It's essentially February, right? It's the second month, so it's dark as shit already. It's pretty fucking cold. You guys definitely want to get a fire going. So Van Neth is gonna go ahead and make some checks here. So plenty of firewood. Good to go there. As he like puts the fire down, he's also gonna hit it with an Eldritch Blast. You guys just look over and there's just like a flare of light, and you watch the Eldritch Blast comes out, and then there's a fire where there wasn't.
Man of many talents, I see.
Go Eldritch Blast, or did he just do it?
I'm sorry?
Did he?
No, he did not. He did not Travis Willingham it. No. Eldritch Blast. No, he just did it. No, he just did it. So, yeah, he goes, in response to Kazamak, he goes, yes, sorry. Probably should have warned you before I just threw off a spell. I have the ability to make some magic.
I've got some demons in me.
Black boy.
What other kind of secrets you hiding from us? I'm gonna say with like a smirk.
He like pats himself down. He literally has nothing, right? I want to point out, he's got this sword. He's wearing fucked up clothes, decent pair of leather boots because he was out hunting. He's wearing hunting clothes that are just torn to shit, and nice leather boots, and he's got a super fucking cool sword.
As if in combat.
I mean,
I want to look into Esme and be like, why did he not take offense to Kazamak's facetiousness?
Real, Finchire.
I'll like lean back into you. His facetiousness wasn't an offer to also off him at the same time. A little different. One was about something he's hiding. The other one was about ending his life twice.
Both seem deeply personal.
Yeah, ending someone's life is usually pretty permanent. Hiding a secret, not so much.
Interesting. Do you have secrets?
Knowing
I mean, we all have secrets. Why are there secrets?
knowing how good these hunting grounds are, I want to try to hunt a deer.
Okay. So you're gonna go look for a deer, very specifically a deer.
An animal that.
No, I heard deer.
Okay.
No,
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and make a survival check. We're hunting. We're making survival checks.
This is straight roll, baby.
You got this.
15, middle of the road.
15.
Middle of the road.
So with a 15, it takes a while. I don't want to point. There's a shit ton of wildlife and a shit ton of game around, but like, it's not so abundant that you're just like, I step into the wood. Yeah, exactly. It's not like Texas. It's not one of those like Texas preserves where they
literally
1,000. Yeah,
like,
literally
hey,
1,000 deer a year. Like, yeah, no.
They breathe like wildfire.
Yeah, it's but it takes about 45 minutes. And as you stalk through the woods, very slowly, you begin to hear, that telltale blowing sound that bucks like to make.
Oh.
Yep, that was really good. Calling out for members of its herd. As you peek through the bush, you see maybe a 4-point buck, nothing too impressive. Decent. I mean, the size of the spread of the antlers and everything, nothing there. The size of the deer, however, because he's eating good, and there's not a lot of natural predators here. So aside from the humanoids who hunt them, they're living a pretty good life. With the odd, there are predators in the woods, but they're few and far between.
Are they relatively less skittish then?
I mean, they're skittish. They know what humanoids are, and they know what the value of it is.
Gotcha.
They know what the deal is. So go ahead and make a stealth check.
Once again, another straight roll, my baby. Normal dice do me good. Nope, 6.
Damn, the wind is at your back.
So with a 6, the deer alerts, looks right at you, and goes to bolt. I will allow you to take an attack. It's going to be a higher DC to hit this deer.
Just a normal DC, so higher, just a normal attack then?
You're going to attack. However, you're going to attack to kill this deer.
Oh, okay.
It's not going to be swinging an axe because you're not faster than the deer.
Fireball.
No,
Fireball.
I'm gonna cook it too.
You boys like venison?
I'm just gonna use fucking magic stone.
Okay.
See what we get, baby.
So make your attack roll.
Pulls out a calling stone.
I got you. 13.
It is a deer. So a deer. The hard DC was 12. So
Oh my god.
it's just a deer, guys. You're not fighting. This wasn't your big bad. This wasn't Kazamak's end game. End of the game.
That's it. You killed the big bad.
13.
Dude. This guy did the
That'll do it. He watches the magic stone right through the head. Just deer just
Call me David.
right on the ground. Like skids to a stop on the ground. About an hour and a half after he left, Kazamak will return. As he's out hunting, what are the rest of you guys doing and talking about?
I'm enjoying this grass, just laying in it. Because the bluegrass is comfy.
Kyle, can you roll D6 for me?
Especially blade grass. You're just
Why
gonna
am I afraid? You're never gonna believe this. 2.
Well, nothing again.
Damn. Cannot believe.
You're gonna get fucked up.
No.
A dragon.
I mean, you've rolled 3 2s in a row. You know only that one of them is the only one that did anything. So, damn, there's some cool stuff on here. I might just do one just because it's fun.
Roll again.
But
It doesn't kill me.
no, it's fine. I mean, the one that I want to do is fine. So I'll probably just do it.
Just do it.
I'm God. I am God here. I am God's.
Fucking shine
No, we let the dice decide our random encounters table. So we'll let the dice decide our random encounters table. So with a 2, you guys will experience no setbacks throughout the night either. So as you guys are sitting around the fire, what are we talking about? Vaneth is just going to be standing in front of it, like warming his hands.
I will walk over to Benneth and I'll, having opened my jar of pickled herrings, there's probably like 4 left.
I'm gonna stand up and walk away because he's opened the jar.
Okay.
It was a gold per or a copper per. I bought it for a silver. There's probably like 4 left. We've been pounding some herring. So I'll have one like just in my mouth, like chewing on it, and like I'll just like tilt the jar towards him.
He's like, oh, a test herring, and he like plucks it, pulls it out, and starts chewing on it. Thank you.
At least someone's got taste. You and Vincire are about the only ones who will take them. And I'll like pull one out and I'll just like toss it over to Vincire.
Gross.
I feel like I miss it and eat it off the ground again.
Vaneth will just say beggars can't be choosers and continue to eat the
Oh man, I dropped my fish. It's in the dirt. Oh no.
Dirt.
Henry's just gonna be sitting there like puffing on a pipe and being like staring at Vincire like, what the fuck?
You don't
Ground
waste
boy.
food, Henry.
That was on the ground.
You don't
filthy.
waste food, Henry.
That is filthy.
You don't waste food, Henry.
Henry, what have you eaten in the last couple days?
Oh, I have my crackers. I have little crackers. I have a little bit of bread. I have, some cheeses that I packed up.
You gotta, in your age, you need to have something of more sustenance than just cheese and crackers.
There's in my pocket.
Yes, Werther's and all the but no. Oh well, I'm actually the old system's pretty robust. I'm good. I've lived lean before. My body's used to it. Keeps me ready to go.
Okay, well, I got 2 left. If you want one.
No, thank you.
Yeah, that's certainly better than pretending like you do want one and throwing it.
I acknowledge that was rude and I apologize. Philip told me to do it.
Apology accepted.
Thank you. This is nice. I like this. This is good.
These guys are gonna learn how to speak common, and I'm gonna tell all the people all your lies.
I can see the rat going just like.
Just tuck Philip in the backpack.
No, I'm imagining the rat from fucking Suicide Squad.
Oh yeah.
I haven't seen that new one, the most recent one.
It's not worth it.
Yeah.
Stick to the first
Ooh,
one.
take that, Suicide Squad too.
Trash.
Ooh.
Don't sponsor us.
After having my quick fish snack for bed, I will try and find a spot where I can hide myself.
You
for
would
my
smell
first.
absolutely terrible. Sweating like in the saddle all day and just sweating
Eating
pickled herring.
Yeah, I'm keeping the mosquitoes off me.
You guys are nuts. I mean, it is the second month, so you guys are. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty chilly out here. I would say the further away you move from the fire, the harder I will make Constitution saving throws to actually get sleep, to actually get through a night's sleep. It's the second month. It is warm here, but it's still like 35 degrees.
Full.
Right? So like it's February, it's 35
not
degrees.
warm. It's true.
Yeah, it is. 35 degrees at the
Celsius, right?
That's warm. In February?
Oh, okay. I think about generally speaking, I was like, that is fucking freezing.
Dude, that's fucking Kansas. He's thinking about Kansas. I know that's what he's thinking about.
I'm not. I'm thinking about Zata.
The open plains.
No one that thinks about Kansas. I forget that's a real
Can
statement.
I make an in the game decision of finding a large tree? Like I want to just in the perception, like the biggest tree I can see that's not like egregiously far away, but like the one that I think just is the oldest and
Sure. There are plenty of old-looking oaks here. Most of the trees here are oaks. Oaks, some pine, but very rare pine. Mostly oaks. You got some spruce, some stuff like that. But yeah, you find a pretty sizable oak. Seems to be about 50 feet tall. Probably 100 years old or more.
beautiful. Beautiful. I would like to, first off, this is gonna, I don't know, this is gonna be weird. I'm gonna peel your skin off a little bit. I'm gonna put it back. Much love. Peace and love.
Oh, okay. That doesn't sound like I'm gonna like it very much.
I will do my best to make it feel better after, but just real quick.
Mm.
I'm gonna take a dagger. I'm gonna like peel away like the layer of bark to expose like the tree, like the bare skin of the tree.
Oh God, it hurts.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. I can't feel it.
Wonderful.
You piss on
And
it.
this basically like a 12 by 12 inch like little like cutout, but not like cutting it out, just like peeling it away. So because I'm gonna put it back. And in Druidic, I'm gonna write a message that says, "My name is Vinsire from the Mother Grove. I am around here. If you can, please try to find me. I got wrapped up in something unexpected. Need a little help." And then I'm gonna put the bark back. And I'm gonna druid craft it like sealed back. And then I'm gonna on the outside of the bark in Druidic, I'm just gonna mark like underneath like a symbol that says like look here, like underneath.
Got it.
Nice.
And then I'm gonna place my hand on the tree, and it's gonna glow like a very deep green. And I'm trying to basically connect with the very tip of the bottom of the roots of this tree, and then go just a little bit deeper.
Gotcha.
And I'm just looking for a status update, basically, see if there's been egregious differences from when I left, or if things are progressing at pretty much the expected rate.
As you reach through the roots, what you come back with is it is spreading more quickly than it was when you left. Like since you've left, it has spread significantly. I think I saw Brahm a while ago put his finger out. Did you have something?
Yeah, I was gonna.
And I'll come back to Kit, then Henry. Those are when I saw your fingers go up.
I'm gonna go away from the fire, wait for that smell to dissipate because it fucking hurts my trunk.
Look,
Cannon.
love that. It hurts my trunk.
Hurts my trunk. And then I'm going to bust out my holy book, start reading some passages, do a little prayer, and then I'm gonna start praying to Id.
Remember, you don't pray to Id.
Can you let me finish my sentence?
Nope. Because I don't want you to continue making the same mistakes.
I'm not trying to make the same mistakes. As a form, as in like a message update.
Okay.
But in the form of like, and just putting it out in the universe. My update on my travels and journeys so far.
Okay, that is not how it works.
I'm just trying things.
I know.
If it was gonna work.
I know. That's why we try things. That is not how it works.
Fuck.
It's not a two-way street. But one-way street.
Because I didn't know she can come into my it can come into my dreams and like
no fuck.
Yeah, it's a one-way street, not a two-way street.
There goes what I was gonna do this evening.
And yeah, just go back to praying about the prime pantheon gods, and then I'll return to the fire. Hopefully the smell is dissipated.
Okay.
And just start setting up for bed. Am I back to the fire yet?
No.
Okay. Fuck you all.
Esme, Kitsune.
Two things. Firstly, I will attempt to just sleep in the cold. But before that, I would like to pull out my amulet and do with the amulet, and then I will just message you the questions at some point.
Okay.
But she's going to, when she goes to do that and she's done doing that, she's going to attempt to just try and get ahead of like the really cold portion of the night and sleep early away from the group.
Okay. Henry.
I'm gonna pull out the scrying orb.
Okay.
And I want to take a look at Calypso, make sure everything's like the harbor outside of Calypso.
Okay.
Just see if there's any kind of ships, if maybe anything's starting to get in position yet.
You see as you scry on the docks, the docks are basically as you left them, if not a little bit more populated by ships. You know that the Grand Council meeting has been called, and that eventually all the city states will be essentially sending representatives to one location. You don't know where that is right now. Calypso is doing its own internal city state, and you kind of can make the assumption that that's happening everywhere that knows about the supposed return of the emperor, right? Or the empire, I should say. So as you look at it, you kind of put two and two together that indeed that is still going on, that
Okay.
Calypso is still deciding what it should be doing. No real change, in other words.
Okay. And then the second thing I would like to try and scry on is the ship that we saw leave Calypso with the Blackmore insignia, and see if I could find if that's anchored somewhere, if that's currently sailing, or
Yeah.
what that ship's doing.
You scry on the ship. What you see is a ship currently making its way down a narrow waterway in the dark of night.
Okay. So they're traveling. Would I be able to tell, like, would it make sense that they're still traveling to Blackmore?
It's hard. I mean,
like time-wise, would it be like, yeah, it makes sense they're still?
I would say as you're looking through the orb, as you're scrying through the orb, a couple of things. One, I'd say that you're probably smart enough and you've seen it enough times to put together that the ship is in the canal. The time frame that ships are much faster than horses in the water, obviously. Just in general, like they're going to go further a day than you are being in a ship. They move like 120 a day, so essentially 2 blocks a day, whereas you guys move half a block a day, right?
Yeah.
So they outclipped you guys by a bunch. So you put together that they are in the canal and likely still heading to Blackmore.
Okay. Then the last thing I'd like to try and scry on, and this is a risky one, but the general.
Okay.
The auto insurer?
Yeah.
Nice.
You scry on the general.
Right. Get on.
This one is going to be a saving throw. Is there a saving throw mechanic on your scrying orb?
Yeah. I don't know if it goes based off my DC, or I don't actually have the item in my inventory. Oh, I do actually.
So depending on how well you know the person, or if you have something, then it reduces whatever the DC would be.
So is it literally just a scrying spell?
Yeah.
In an orb?
Yes. No. Yes, Christian. Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Yes.
It is the scrying spell, and then
be spell save then.
yeah.
Just a strength spell.
So I think it's just a wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom saving throw.
Yeah, it's +0, so yeah, it should be. If it's my save, yeah, I think it's 14.
Damn, I guess that.
Look at that, it's level 3.
Saves with an 18 on the die.
Okay. All right. And that's all I'll be doing. I'll be sitting there just in my little camp chair, I guess, or find a log, and Clive is going to be giving me a back massage, and I'll be sitting there scrying with a pipe, and that's my night. Then go to bed.
Okay.
Before I return to the group, though, I would like to take my chrysanthemum, and I just want to lay him at the foot of this giant tree.
Okay. Yeah, you deliver the flower I believe he was a mom, wasn't he?
Yeah.
It was a mum, yeah, a chrysanthemum.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. I guess that is short for
Mummy.
chrysanthemum. Yeah.
Mummy.
Yeah, so you lay the mom at the foot of the tree, fulfilling your promise to take him to paradise.
And then
Closure.
Nice.
then I'll head back to
End
the
of Reggie with Root Rot's arc.
end of Reggie. So made it.
All right.
Do I have to roll Constitution saving throws?
To see if you get a night's sleep. Yeah.
Do I step on her?
Okay, if I can't get any sleep, I'm just gonna toil through the night and do potion making.
Okay. So you have to make a Constitution saving throw.
That's a 6, so I'm making potions, baby.
You get 2, so you're going to do one every 4 hours. So you try to fall asleep, can't, decide to make potions. Go to make a second Constitution saving throw.
Natural 20.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah, you get your long rest. You get your 4 hours.
And then I only had 4 more hours on the potion making. So is it an Arcana check for the potion making to roll it up?
It's a D20 with proficiency.
If you have proficiency.
I do. So what's my mod? +2. Oh, sweet. 18.
You get a potion. You get 1 normal healing potion.
At the cost of 1 of these things.
He does not get a point of exhaustion because he gets his 4 hours. So you pass the Constitution saving throw. As you come back from the fire, or from your hunt, as they're wrapping up and trotting off to bed, you have your animal.
Clean it. I would have field dressed it before I carried it back.
Okay.
And then, do I just walk back? Everyone started sleeping. I assume.
It seems like nobody waited up for you.
That's fine.
As you come back, Vaneth is going to be there, and he's going to go. Oh, you got something. Is that a deer?
Yeah, it's not super big, but went down pretty easily.
Well, should be good eating.
Yeah, I would have shared, but everyone's asleep, so I guess I'll just chop it up and cook it over the fire and pack it away for when we get back on the road. I'm definitely going to eat some tonight, though, so you're more than welcome to it.
Oh, I would love that. I'm quite hungry.
I am actually starving, too. I've been actually eating pretty good. I got salted pork in my bag, but some venison would be nice. And with that, I'm just going to, next to the fire and just blow my axe, cut the head off, chop the legs off, cut it into little pieces.
All right.
Don't puncture the spleen, this guy.
No, I already field dressed it. Now I'll just cook a bunch of little pieces and then there you go.
Okay. 2 things. First, everyone will level up tonight. But before we do that, good sin.
Ooh.
At around, I'd say probably midnight, as you're making your potion, the tattoo on your hand, the little black dot on your otherwise perfectly red fur, orange red fur, starts to shift. And you're alerted to this by a slight twinge of pain in your left hand or your right hand. And as you look down at your right hand, that dot is coalescing into a shape. And as it does, before long, it looks exactly like the visage of Orion sitting on the back of your hand. He goes, "Where are you, my little friend?"
Is it like an open dialogue?
Yeah. He's like, the tattoo is literally like moving. Like its mouth is moving.
It's like a little, it's like
it's like a little animated tattoo that's like his face.
Sirius in the fire.
imagining Maui's tattoo.
Yeah, kind of like Sirius in the fire. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, that too.
looking at the hand, will just be like, I'm in good grass.
You're not supposed to be in good grass. You're supposed to be hunting an orb.
Well, the group I'm with is doing the same.
Yes. Well, you're needed.
Needed where?
Blackmore.
Well,
There's a delivery coming, and I need you to ensure that it arrives safely.
She'll just like smirkily be like, well, luckily for you, we're already headed that way, and then just goes back to doing what she's doing.
You hear this, I wasn't finished, and then your hand starts to swell.
Oof. Smacks you.
Like as if you were allergic to bees and got stung by a bee on your hand. And the pain starts to it's one of those things where it gets so painful that you have to look at why it hurts. And when you look at him again, you see the visage smirk and the swelling start to ebb. He goes, that's better. Listen, this will be much easier if you just do as you're told, Kit. There's a lesson in here for you. Somewhere. She knows you'll find it. But until then, I'll resort to violence. You're to get to Blackmore in 2 days' time. If you fail, I take one of your kin. The tattoo disappears and it's a black dot.
How far away are we from Blackmore currently?
You're about 2 days' journey from Blackmore.
Cool. Well, look at that perfect little quinky dink.
Oh, I mean, you're 2 days' journey from the Lake Blackmore, but you're gonna have to really hoof it to make it in 2 days' time. You'll have to get lucky that a ferry is coming across the canal from Goodgrass. And with that, threats in the air, we'll end our session.
Ooh. Send my messages, by the way.
Got it.
Oh man, oh man, oh man.